Hey, all you cool cats and gamers! Welcome to Victory Lap, the GDQ Hotfix show that highlights recent world record and personal best runs and the runners who made them happen. I'm your host, Nuclear, and tonight we've got an extra special treat for y'all. We've got Jay's world record run that just happened at AGDQ 2023 online here, with Jay commentating over the run, as well as Rox, who was also part of the commentary team for that run, just talking about what went into making this world record run happen live at AGDQ. Super, super, super hyped for this one. Before we get started, though, just a couple of announcements for y'all. Unapologetically Black and Fast is coming up February 11th to 12th. Celebrate Black excellence in speedrunning coming up next month. Use command UBAF in Twitch chat for more information. Also, a reminder that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick with AGDQ 2023 costs, including hotel cancellation costs. Please consider subscribing to help support Games Done Quick. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to press the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, go to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick if you're interested in looking at our live content starting weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand things over to Jay and get us into the run. Take it away.
Yo, what is up? My name is Jay, and today we have something special for you. So at AGDQ 2023, we did a four-way Galaxy 2 any% race with me and three of the runners, Hardcore, Claire, and Viper. And against all odds, we actually managed to break the any% world record there. So we're going to be talking, me and Rox going to be talking over that today, explaining some of the run, how I was feeling during it, explaining some of the strats, answering any questions you might have about it. But yeah, hello Rox, welcome.
Hi, how are you doing, Jay?
I'm doing great. How are you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling fantastic. I cannot wait to re-commentate the commentary I already commentated over.
Yeah, so for those that didn't get to see the run live, Rox was actually one of the commentators. It was commentated by him and Spike Vegeta, so he's more than ready to see what's coming up. But yeah, Rox, I'm ready to start whenever you are.
I'm so ready.
Prodigy of Galaxy speedrunning.
Alright, yeah, so for those that don't know, this is Super Mario Galaxy 2 any%, and in this category, the only objective is just beat the game as fast as possible. Best way to do it in this game, we need 70 stars and then defeat Bowser in his Galaxy generator. So the world record for this at the time was 254.55, and yeah, going into this, we were all just like, you know, if any of us could get a sub 3 in the race, you know, that'd be pretty good. We'd be happy with that. Yeah, here we are getting started.
Clueless.
Indeed.
Does he know? He did not know, that's for sure.
Yeah, very cool thing about this today is, yeah, you can go on.
Oh, I was gonna say, SMG2, I said this in the commentary, it's like I've said before, and I will say time and time again, the most underrated speedruns, just in general. It is so many cool strats, tricks, just, you know, things that you can do to go faster, and all of it will be showed off in its entirety in this run that you're watching right here. And the cool thing about this, on the show Victory Lap, what Jay has right now is a little, like, special tool he can use to draw on the screen itself, so we can actually point out like little things that
so I can show you right here. Yeah. So I've got a red colored pen, so I can draw like arrows, you know, maybe do some circling. So we can use that to point out a lot of stuff, which you'll see me use a lot later during the run when we get to like tricks and stuff. But this beginning section is pretty simple. It's just a simple 2D section, skipping a bunch of cutscenes. But then we're going to be heading into Sky Station 1. This is basically every Galaxy 2 runner's worst nightmare. Like, I think, according to RunGG, this is where, like, 80% of my runs get reset. And I'm pretty sure it's the same for most other runners, because this level is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a very brutal level. You have a bunch of incredibly tight, long jumps that, like, if you're just barely off in your positioning, you bonk and you fall off into the middle of the, the middle of the black hole. And obviously, that's not ideal.
Yeah, basically every mistake that you can make in Sky Station is just a reset, because the whole level pretty much is like one big cycle. And if you miss the cycle, it's just kind of, just reset, just go again. Yeah, there's not really much going on in this beginning section, just mashing a lot of text. So there is a little optimization you can do in these next set of text boxes to frame perfectly skip 2 of them. I'm not actually sure if I got it here. Oh, I think I did actually. Yeah, so if you delay skipping one of these cutscenes by about 3 frames and then frame perfectly match the other 2, you can actually skip 1 or 2. It saves like a second. Very minor thing.
I think it's half second. Yeah, it's incredibly minor, and it's cool, but it's it's not something that you reset over a 3-hour run.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember going into Sky Station, I was incredibly nervous because the early game of Galaxy 2 has got to be like one of the most punishing early games of I feel like most Mario games have like incredibly punishing early games, but this one in particular is very rough, as you'll see in the next 20 or so minutes.
Yeah, World 1 in this game is incredibly punishing throughout. It's one of those things, if you make a small mistake, you lose like 40 plus seconds. But yeah, any of these movements is doing right here, if he messes up any of them, the cycle gets off, you might like bonk, fall to the void. This is Luma bounce. You just do a homing grab pound of the Luma, and the backwards momentum sends you far enough where if you spin again, get more backwards momentum, you go into that planet. That saves 2 seconds. Right here, this planet with all the elevators, we're doing a little bit of a special movement to be able to line ourselves up with a long jump here to get the comp medal. Pretty simple like Galaxy stuff. That's usually what any of the Galaxy games, the routing of the planets looks like. Just how do we get from point A to point B the fastest while getting everything we need on that planet.
Yeah, so in most of these stages, you'll see that we're going for comet medals, and that when we get our first comet medal there. So that'll basically allow us to unlock faster levels later in the run. So you'll notice that we'll we grab most of the comet medals in the levels we go in, maybe except 1 or 2.
It's
and
all
then
but
later
2.
in the run. Is it more than 2?
All but 2.
All but 2.
Yeah,
So,
Fluffy
you'll
Bluff and
notice-
Clef Ruins.
You'll notice at the end of the run, we'll have like maybe 8 or so comets in a row that are like really quick, just rapid fire stars at the end. Yeah, I remember this being a fairly decent Sky Station one, which is a huge sigh of relief. Yeah, I guess anyone in the chat, if you have any questions about me or the run or anything that's happening to me or the rocks, just feel free to ask any questions. I've got the chat open on the side, so any questions you have, feel free.
Yeah, this chat's actually readable on like the speeds of the HDQ chat, where a little hard to read anything. Aside from a few messages here and there.
So I actually have a question. Did you happen to have up your splits and a timer going? I know some runners do during GDQ runs, some don't.
Yes, so I did. I was debating whether or not to do it, but I think I'm glad that I did. Because, I don't know, even after like the first part, like I wasn't using like my actual PB comparison, I was just using like a custom like sub 3 one. I was like, if I get better than sub 3, I'll be happy. But I was looking at the splits, I was like, okay, wait a second.
Yeah, and kind of going off of that, Jay uses a plugin made by therun.gg. Shouts to Joey who made that. It's an incredible, really cool website based in speedrunning. But basically, it's where a bunch of viewers could see the splits in real time, meaning that we could all really see what pace is on. And I remember seeing in the chat a lot of talk, like a lot of buzz, like, wow, look at this link, we can see what pace is on. And yeah, sure enough, the splits were like, oh, you are 2 seconds ahead of record, very late into the run. So that was cool to see, like the chat like bonding over that.
Yeah, I remember seeing a lot of people in the chat. Everyone pace palling. Oh, the pace pal is arriving.
Yeah, when you get the pace pals arriving to GDQ. That can't happen often.
Yeah, you'll notice that we don't end up going back for Sky Station 2. So this is a route that's based around 2P. So in this run, I'm using, as you can probably tell by the cursors, I'm using 2 controllers. I can actually show you. I've got them right here. So I don't know how well you can see this, but I've got 2 weir modes strapped together with strips of Velcro tape and some rubber bands at the top, and it basically allows us to do a bunch of stuff with the 2P Luma. such as like breaking crystals, killing enemies, grabbing coins, etc., etc. So you'll see me use that a bunch in the beginning here. A lot more later once we get to like the purple coin missions. But this is like one of the big tricks coming up. This is another reset heavy thing in early game.
Oh, for
So
sure.
Galaxy 2. Yeah, you can explain Infinite Flutters, go for it.
Yeah, so I hear myself commentating what they are in the background. But Infinite Flutters are basically, so you have Yoshi, which is new to Galaxy 2. He's not in Galaxy 1 at all, except for a little bit of a cameo and like a planet's shape. But basically, what a Yoshi Flutter is, if you alternate between hitting Z and A on Yoshi, you'll continuously flutter. You're like resetting the crouch animation in midair and resetting the flutter. And so that's really useful, obviously, for height, because you just get infinite height with Yoshi, because, you know, Yoshi can flutter pretty high. But the more useful thing, as you saw here, was that the sideways horizontal ability and the speed that you get from it, especially after the acceleration you get from hitting the berry. With Yoshi's tongue out, his tongue has to be out, otherwise you'll eat the berry. You don't want that, that's really slow. But you bounce on the berry, get acceleration, and lengthen the duration of the flutter very slightly. And that's really important, because after 10 seconds, the Yoshi flutter just kicks you out. You just stop moving entirely. You can go up, you can't go sideways. And it's really important that runners go backwards, like a diagonal backwards sideways, and that, because that's how you get the most speed in this game, is in that direction. So we want to be fluttering in that direction at all times.
Yeah, basically what Rock said here, and that's going to be very important here in this next level, which is Yoshi Star 2, because this is another flutter. But in this one, the camera changes during the flutter, so we've got to, you know, account nunchuck angle for that to keep our speed. Any change in the angle that, you know, Yoshi doesn't like, if I hold forward at any point, I'll lose all my speed. So basically, gotta make sure I change the camera. I change my stick angle along with the camera to keep my speed.
Yeah, it basically captures speed at the slowest possible, like speed value put. That's where it caps your Yoshi speed for that specific flutter.
Yeah, small optimization you'll see here is using 2P. You can actually break open Yoshi's egg slightly early. So, which is one of the cool things you can do with 2P. Like, I think the only... Wait, did all of us use 2P in the race? I think all of us
All of
did,
you used
right?
2P at one point, yeah. I didn't think Viper was using it, but I was wrong. But yeah, all of you used 2P in the race, which is kind of crazy. Because you would never would have thought that with this game, like, a year or two ago.
Yeah, it's crazy how much Galaxy 2 has evolved in, like, the last year or so. Like, basically 2P hasn't really been that much of a big thing since, like, I don't know, 2 years ago. Only recently it's been used in Galaxy 2, mostly Galaxy 1.
Yeah, there were a few runners here and there, but it was very few and far between.
Yeah, shooting some stabbits at the Laka Thunder. It's Laka Thunder, right? I don't actually remember
I
this
think it's
boss's
Laka
name.
Thunder. I always say Lackluster because I'm too Paper Mario brained, but you don't. But you're uncultured because you never played that game. But yeah, I think it's Laka Thunder.
Claire nailing as well, and Viper.
Viper is airborne and his butt has touched.
Yeah, this is like the end of the early game stressful level. So at this point, I was like calming down. I was like, okay, hopefully now, you know, it don't
next
end up in a
level-
mess.
The next level's relatively chill. There's still a few things that can go. It can go very wrong, but it's definitely the most RNG dependent level in the run so far. But there are a few difficult strats that you can do in this level. You'll see as well.
Yes, this is like one of the main RNG levels in the run. We've got a couple. There's not that much RNG in the run, but this is probably one of the main ones. The boss fight coming up has got a couple of different things that can happen in the fight. But we'll get to that when we get there. So this next level introduces the spin drill, but the thing with the spin drill is once you're holding the drill, you can't really use any movement abilities. All you can do is run. So we try and avoid that as much as we can.
And then you can start drilling like inside of planets and going up and down planets and whatnot. Obviously, once you have it, while
Yeah, so see here the game's trying to like introduce it to us, but we're gonna completely ignore that entirely, especially in this first section here. We're just gonna triple jump right up the beginning. Not gonna worry about any of the drill nonsense.
Oh yeah, the drill's a cool ability. Like it's a cool item in this game. It's not really an ability. It's just kind of an item. But it's kind of slow and it's really not really used that much because obviously you need dirt for it. But it's not like when you're holding the drill, it's really slow because you can't long jump. You have to walk with it. But it has a cool mechanic where if you bounce into it, it gives the same like bounciness as like an enemy. So you can bounce off of it and get a ton of speed off of it. Right here, this is a super tight trick that saves I think 6 seconds. Getting triple jumps in small spaces like that are incredibly difficult in any Mario game. No exception here. And that saves 6 seconds over doing it the casual way.
Yes, that's gonna be it for the drill in this level. We basically only had to use it once for that wall clip.
Well, you're forgetting the boss.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, right here, we're shooting Toad. Because if we shoot Toad... Oh, you messed it up. I forgot you messed it up. I mentioned it on actual comms. I forgot. You missed it. You can save like 2 seconds there. You see you shaking her head. Yeah. It saves 2 seconds to, you know, go into first person mode, shooting Toad, because that skips his text box.
Yeah, so normally in this boss fight, what you want to happen is after this first hit, you want the boss to come down, and then hopefully, I don't know what the actual chance is, but you want the boss to jump towards you, so you lose your drill. See, this time I got good RNG, so the boss will immediately go away. And here I'm using 2P to keep the other drill alive, because if no drills are alive, the boss will spawn more drills, and each one spawn is about 2 seconds lost. So I'm going to try and make sure. Here we're going to see if it jumps on me again. Yes, this time it jumped away, so it's going to be a lot harder to try and keep the drills alive.
If you get under him, because he kept coming back at you, if you get under him on the 3rd attempt, I think that still saves time over waiting it out. I'm not positive though. It's weird. It's really weird.
It's a very janky boss fight. It's one of those weird ones where sometimes just random things happen you don't expect.
Absolutely. And let's get a quick update. Now that we have met that Outer Wilds incentive, the next one coming up is that bonus game for Resident Evil.
Next level coming up, we've got Right Side Down. This is honestly one of like my coolest.
I love this
I think it's
level.
one of my favorite levels to show off because the movement in it is so cool.
It's the way it's designed is there's a bunch of switches. You gotta, you know, flip it. It switches the gravity, and you're supposed to like kind of go around. It's kind of puzzle-like, but not really. You know, and just get through the level. We say no, and then just keep the gravity the way it starts, and just keep going and keep going. We can skip all of them, doing a bunch of really cool movement, and you're gonna see why this is one of the coolest levels.
Yeah, so another cool thing about this that I just noticed, that like right next to my face, I don't know if it's this side or that side, but there's like a video feed of my face from the actual run. It's so cool to see like the reactions of my face during this, because I've watched this back, but I've never really like watched the face cam, and some of my reactions during this are like so goofy.
Can you draw the face cam? I don't think you can.
No, just on the game.
No.
Yeah, I can actually show you what we can do here. So we can do like,
You can't make a paste palette out, yeah.
Oh god, I've lost my mouse. I can't find it. Oh no, it's gone. Yeah, so the main gimmick of this level is there's a lot of switches I want you to hit to switch the gravity back and forth. We're going to completely ignore this switch. There's a long jump all the way over here. It's actually a pretty tight long jump.
Kind of just slowing us down. So we're just gonna skip him and head right to the fight. But on Jay's screen, we're seeing.
Yeah, basically that whole section that it wanted us to do with the gravity flipped up. We're just gonna ignore that completely. Same by here. It wants us to change the gravity again, but we're just gonna skip it completely.
Switch the gravity. We don't need that at all. We can just.
Now we're on the opposite side, making this come metal grab a lot easier.
You're gonna see.
And right here, this is pretty scary. This is crate skip. They're not too bad. They can trip you up here and there sometimes, but usually they're not the biggest run killer. Basically, these crates are an insta-kill, but they're really slow to break individually because you have they have to fall, and its gravity is slow. Yeah. And then right here, we're doing...
very scary because they're an insta-kill. I've got crushed by those so many times.
Oh, yeah. And they're so jank. There's a clip of... There's a lot of clips of people getting absolutely just the jankiest things happening to them, where you get crushed in the middle of the wall somehow. It's Yeah.
on the star and home into it. Very nicely done by Jay as our runners finishing up.
Yeah, same thing again, this next level, Right Side Down Secret. This is also another one of my favorites. So this is the first box mini game, and these levels are notorious. I know a lot of people really dislike the box mini games with the Fire Flower. But I remember this one specifically in the run going really well. And these ones like so satisfying
yeah,
to do perfect.
I remember both meats like kind of popped off over this.
Very reminiscent of Super Mario 64. And
But it's when this one goes well, it's a really good feeling. It's just so satisfying for some reason. I don't know why. It's just incredibly satisfying.
Planet right here, same galaxy. Who's gonna be doing that backflip? And
Yeah,
then
same thing again, but this time going straight into this pipe up here.
Just kind of reset your fall velocity right there to keep the momentum going all the way cleanly falling into that flower. With the optimization.
Yeah, so this gear mode gives us 20 seconds to break every single box, but we only need 5. So this is, you know, combined using 2P and the Fire Flower mechanics. But this was a very clean one.
Yeah, I think you got a 15 here. But yeah, you see, and you see your face right
You
there.
see my face there?
Someone arrest this man.
oh my god.
I don't know if the viewers can hear it, but we.
I could hear you popping off in the
Yeah, we were
background
popping
of the
off in the background.
Get some of the boxes if they miss it.
That was disgusting.
That was filthy.
I'm sorry, Chuck. My God. But yeah, again, going through this galaxy right here.
Yeah, the next level, Fluffy Bluff, is where we first get introduced to the Cloud Flower. And the Cloud Flower is probably one of the best parts of Galaxy 2 speedrunning.
Easily.
Easily,
There's
like, one of the
The
coolest parts.
two best parts, and it's not close, in my opinion. Actually, there's a close third. But the top two, not without a doubt, Yoshi and the Cloud Flower.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Wait,
They
what would
are-
be the third? What would be the third?
I was gonna say, with the addition of rock jumps, the boulder. The boulder has been growing on me. Also for really stupid reasons too. Why the boulder's growing on me. That have nothing to do with gameplay. Us rocks need to stay together, you know.
Hi, Steven.
But anyway, Fluffy Bluff. We're gonna see the first usage of 2P grabbing a coin. And that's something that 2P can do, believe it or not. You can't do that in Galaxy 1. It's only in Galaxy 2. But basically, we need to get 100 coins to beat the Hungry Luma to unlock the secret planet. But the 2P Luma can help us speed this process up by grabbing coins that we can't grab. And like at the same time, obviously, it's going to save time over just one person collecting coins. Believe it or not, if you have multiple people making the money for you, it's a lot faster to make that money than just yourself making money for yourself.
They give you a boost of momentum whenever they're
That's the
I mean,
Works just the
I've
same in
never
this
thought
game.
about it like that, but yeah, sure.
that momentum is stored with
Yeah, doing like coin collecting with 2P is basically just one like huge multitasking mini game. It's just like how much movement can you do while also, you know, grabbing all the coins that you need.
It's been cool to see the recent surge in a bunch of Mario runs adding a second player. Not even just the Galaxy games, but 3D World and Odyssey as well.
5 frames for what is about to occur with the cloud side
Yeah, this next section is probably one of my favorites in the whole game. This cloud flower movement. So you can do like cloud boosted backflips, you can do
Like
cloud
that,
boosted
there.
long jumps, cloud side flips. There's so many different like bits of cloud tech that you can do. Like see that was a cloud side flip. It was a little bit of a
Yeah.
messed up one, but you can kind of see what I was going for there.
And cloud side flips were actually, I wouldn't say recent, but they were only like semi-recently implemented into runs.
There's like a very specific frame interval for them. I think it's like 1 or 2
Yes.
frames.
Yeah, I think it's very, very tight. But they are the coolest looking thing that is one of the coolest looking things that this game has to offer. You're just flinging yourself up with the cloud.
Yeah, I see someone asking in the chat what the previous record is before this. So this run that I got at JDGQ was a 2:54:51, and the previous before that, which I think was from a couple of months ago, was a 2:54:55. So it was a 4-second improvement.
It was like a month or two. No, not definitely. It was like a month at most, I think.
I'm not actually sure. I can check. Give me 1 sec.
Was it on Christmas?
And we use this
On Christmas.
Or was that way too late?
levels
That was way too late.
We're gonna have to like grind Starbits for it. Anyways, because
That was
throughout the world map, there are
12:25.
2 months ago.
I am hungry.
Was it 2 months ago?
Starbits, and I'll give you a galaxy. And
Yeah, apparently it was November.
galaxies have a lot of very quick stars.
Really?
And
Alright.
what you use the bank
Well,
to actually
yeah, that was.
some of the
But anyway, he got a 254.55 in late November using 2P Chinese disc and the Sorbetti route. And the reason I make that joke is because I would be remiss to mention anything Galaxy 2 related in today's world without mentioning Goryuya, who had the previous record before Jay did at 254.58, using 1P, a slower version of the game, and a slower route.
Yeah, so I think that 254.55 was the first Galaxy 2 any Summer ever to have 2P.
Yeah, because Doopsy didn't use it either.
Yeah.
Galaxy 2 definitely was late to the 2P revolution compared to Galaxy 1. But once we found like more and more 2P usages, and shout out to the test with this game, Purple Sun, who found a ton of sick 2P usages.
Oh yeah, you'll definitely see a lot more
Yeah.
of those later in the run.
Yeah.
Especially when we get into like World 4.
Yeah. But I do want to shout out Purple Sun, especially his YouTube channel. He's currently working through a greens task of this game. And if you were here the last time this game was on the hotfix, you'll know that we love greens. So seeing a greens task would be really cool. It'll be the first completed task of a Galaxy game. And he's making really good progress on it. And it looks really sick. I highly recommend checking it out.
is that it can grab coins while you're just like kind of walking away.
Yeah, now we're gonna go backwards. You just saw there that we're using Bangtoad for this speedrun. So in Galaxy 2, it is pretty difficult to get Starbits. So we get all of our Starbits from the Bangtoad. So we use a file that already has max Starbits from the Bangtoad. So at some point in the run, we can just go in, take as many Starbits as we want from Bangtoad, and use that for all the Hungry Lumas on the map. So we take out a 4800. We need 300 for this initial Luma, which unlocks Flip Swap. And this level has probably some of the best looking tech the whole of the run. It is so hard.
This is
so
yeah.
difficult, this Mario.
Flip Swap gets a lot of hate, but it's one of my favorite galaxies in general. Both levels, which you'll see in this run, have some of the coolest movement, the coolest tech that this game has to offer. And I'm mainly talking about the silly jumps, which is an incredibly stupid name, but you'll see why they're called silly jumps.
They are so silly. These are incredibly
so silly. That name has a really funny origin, now that I'm remembering about it. But, oh, you missed that one.
I almost died there.
That one, it's so easy to die on. I think I've died there, in that specific place, more times than anywhere else in this game. At
Yeah,
least
so
in
basically
runs.
what we're doing here
Yeah.
is with these platforms is we're using the momentum, pushing them upwards to get a huge boost of like forwards momentum and speed. So this one's just really far.
And then as it's flipping up, that's where you get your spin into the long jump. Very, very cool stuff. Already, Jay.
Yeah, that was a very clean flip swap except from the miss at the beginning.
I like how you nod your head after every single, like, oh yeah, that was a good level.
Self-validation.
I did the same thing. Gotta have that self-validation.
It's so funny watching the face cam back from the run. So many goofy
It's
reactions.
so funny.
Very quickly throughout the run. But right here,
Yeah, so a little later in the run. So when I was doing this run, I was reading the offline chat of my stream, and
Oh my god.
oh man, they were making me laugh during the whole run. I couldn't focus.
but the fight itself
Not the offline chat.
is
Yeah, so this is the last level of World 1. This is Bowser Jr.'s Fire Flotilla. So this is the first boss fight of the run, which is gonna be Gobblegut. So this is a pretty fast stage. Actually, getting to the boss is really quick, so we can get up on top of the castle really fast. And the boss fight is also really quick. And what it
Yeah.
wants us to do, it wants us to open up this giant, huge area with Bowser Jr.'s face on it, go up onto the planet. We're just gonna skip all of that. We're gonna completely ignore that.
we're gonna be trying to do them.
And we're just gonna go up onto the castle.
Loading above us. But right here, some super cool movement.
Yeah, and that beginning long jump section is really hard because you're long jumping from like panel to panel to get to that first the Womp cycle, which is a really tight one you can make at the very beginning. But anyway, you go up here, which is intended to get up here, but they must have just missed out on this gravity plane over there. Oh my god, I did not notice that.
Yeah, almost died there. That was terrifying.
I've done that before, but that gravity field is enormous for that planet. Like I've gone where I've I missed the long jump. I bonked off the edge, spin bonked, and somehow landed into it. Like it's enormous.
Yeah, so this is Galwaga. This is another really janky boss fight. So this,
for sure.
This boss has 6 bulbs that it wants us to hit, 3 in each phase. So we're gonna try and hit all of them really early without him digging into the floor. So we got 1 hit, 2 hit, and 3. So that was a very good first phase. For this next one, we can't do any fast hits straight away. We gotta kind of lure him around first to get him where we want him. So we're gonna bring him down this way and swing back up and hit him as he's coming around.
Oh, hardcore missing it. But Jay having a super clean fight.
And that
The
is
reactions.
Yeah. Oh, hardcore missing it. It's funny. I didn't hear this back. I only watched it back with no audio.
Once you mess it up,
I was able to actually hear myself back, so this is funny to hear.
to kind of do the casual strat, which is just bait them in and then just.
And you get to finally re-commentate over the pads you missed due to your internet.
True. I get to
To do
redeem
your
myself.
redemption arc.
Out there. If
I
you
gotta do my redemption arc.
It is so difficult to back it up. You either die and lose a minute.
Although I keep syncing myself up with the old camera drinking water. It looks so funny.
That is funny.
Staying. Trying to figure out what to do. We got there in the end.
Yeah, looking like all around.
Yeah, that is 1 wall down of 6. This is probably the worst one out the way. I think I've played a lot of Galaxy 20%, and I think about 75 of my attempts just all end up dying in World 1. It is just truly
You can check your stats.
true. I mean, what up, GG? So see how many runs get past. See how many runs get past World 1. 'Cause it's not many.
It's
I've
not
had
many.
streams before where I could spend 6 hours just
There's an
resetting in World 1.
emote. There's an emote literally called "Me and the Homies Watching Jay Stuck in Sky Station 1" for a reason.
It's a very common occurrence.
Bet this far, so let's keep that up. We've got $500 from Mott. I know y'all mentioned this was technically a co-op race with 2 controllers.
Rox, what if your internet
This is a double
dies
co-op race.
at the same time?
It shouldn't. I'm at a different location. When I was commentating the run, I was at home, but I'm at school back now. So hopefully it doesn't die.
Hopefully.
But it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, so I just checked, and I have a 13% completion rate of World 1.
Oh my god.
just so you know how rare it is to get decent runs past this point.
It is brutal for sure.
We'll discuss the family tree
All the
later.
lore.
You can call me son if you like.
It's probably one of my favorite World 2 levels. This is puzzle playing. It's probably got one of the best soundtracks in the
It has the
entire
best song in the game. It has the best song in the
so
game.
good.
It's so good.
You just could not beat the puzzle playing music. But I think I actually end up missing this triple jump here. I might be wrong, but I feel like I recall missing
It
this.
doesn't lose that much. Actually, I've done some testing because I'm somehow really bad at it.
To skip those 2
Oh, never
songs.
mind. The triple jump fine.
Because there's a fine line between jumping on that where it's a wall and where it's a slope.
Oh, don't even get me started on slopes. Don't even get me started.
Especially in this game, yeah. That's one thing that Galaxy 1 is preferable for in a speedrunning sense. Are the slopes. Twisty trials, just ugh. But yeah. Anyway, you just kind of move through this level, and you can see these cool backflips. If you do those backflips perfectly, you can just yeet yourself all the way around the brick onto the other ground pound area. It's really cool. Highly
Yeah,
recommend.
one of the hardest bosses in the whole run. Maybe? Oh, never mind.
Might.
It's already over.
Yeah.
They didn't mean to do it, it just happened. But now we've got going into the boss fight right here. It's dead.
Boss, quote unquote.
I see lots of familiar faces in the chat. We got Viper in here, who's also part of the GDQ race.
Yeah.
Continues, takes out the kid, then takes out the parent. It's all right. Bugs are gone. That's great. Yeah, bugs
Yeah, it was
are
honestly one of the craziest runs to do. With some of the craziest top runners. All the runners that we had doing this race were the the best runners we got.
We have $25 from
Definitely wouldn't have wanted to do it with anyone else.
Oh my god, your facial expression there. It's always funny whenever anyone on
Awesome me.
Huge shout out to Creepy
When I'm-
Creepy Guard is a
whenever a GDQ runner who can't use mic hears a name that they know read out, it's always fun to see their facial reaction. So like you right there when Creepy Guard donated.
Yeah, shout out to Creepy Guard.
It's so funny watching back some of these expressions, because some of these expressions I don't even know that I made at the time. Because like this run, I wasn't commentating, so I was just kind of chilling, listening to the comms.
Sneak that in there as you were giving your shout outs too. So thank you, Rox.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout outs to me.
let's get some claps in chat for Rocks.
Yeah, this is going to be our next Yoshi level, so we can't have a Yoshi level without just abusing infinite flutters. So we're going to see a pretty big one coming up in the next section. But this is the introduction to the Dash Pepper, which when you eat the Dash Pepper, it gives Yoshi a huge boost of speed. And you can also do like these little hops with the Dash Pepper to get some extra speed. I think it's a very minor amount though.
Going on the left side, you mean?
Just the little hops in general.
Oh, the hops? Yeah, the hops do save time. Going up the left side there saves a lot of time because you were able to... It is really, actually, really tight. It's really difficult to get in between those little two areas on the left side, but we need to go to the left side to get the pepper so we can keep pepper momentum until this point, because we need pepper momentum to get this flutter. This is called the JDA flutter, which saves 2 seconds over just, setting up a regular flutter. And it's used by the Yoshi momentum, which momentum in this game is a sick concept. You can get momentum off of anything. I'm getting weird deja vu. I am listening to myself talk about the same thing.
Right here, hardcore mess with the JDA flutter, and just gonna do the normal setup.
Yeah, basically any sort of momentum you can do off like a slope, especially with the pepper momentum. You can just kind of stack the momentum in loads of different ways and just some crazy speed. As you can see, they're going into the start, barely missing the instant grab, but still a very clean grab nonetheless.
But now hardcore coming up. Yo, can we get any of our forerunners to just launch directly into the star? I need this.
No, here we go. We got Viper coming up here.
Yeah, let's go, Viper.
I
was
love
cut
hearing
off
the commentary back.
Yeah, I just scream, yeah, for no... Well, no, there's a reason, but it was overhyped. That's funny.
By the way, if you go back and watch any of that chat, you can see Yoshi absolutely.
And so this is Boulder Bowl, where we get introduced to the rock mushroom. So this rock mushroom has been the key to some of the most broken strats in the entire run. You're not going to see any of that in this level. But what you will see is a huge skip initially rolling off this bridge. So first of all, before we do that, we got to get the comp medal.
Yeah, but first we talk about the bridge skip. We got to talk about bridges. Bridges in this game, when you're in a rock formation going off bridges, not a bridge, ramps, the ramp will automatically send you, it's like a mini cutscene, you're not actionable, and you'll just yeet yourself to the other side. You can't do anything about it. The game makes you do it. But if you shake right before landing on that ramp, it delays that animation to jump and shake. Yeah, it delays the animation of going over the ramp. So you just jump again and you skip that area and you delay the ramp cutscene so it doesn't happen. And then boom, you skip a planet.
There's just a really funny coincidence here, but we can cheese this boss kind of by not letting him see us and then rolling around and hitting his.
Yeah, this is the Rolladillo fight, and basically in this fight, what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and get away from the boss as soon as possible, because otherwise he'll start his rolling animation. And if he starts his rolling animation, it becomes all kinds of messed up. So if you can basically just get away from him as soon as possible, roll around the other side to hit him from behind, slightly messing up the third hit, but still not too bad. Didn't get any of the extra rolling.
Jay, what's the name of the star?
It's Rock and Rolladillo.
It's Rocks
It's
and
you.
Rodeo.
It's a Rocks reference.
No, it's also Rodeo reference.
Rocks and Rodeo.
It's Rocks and Rodeo. Shouts to Rodeo, who all of a sudden cracked at this game.
Yeah, bro's in this up
He
3
just
grand.
got a 302. Bro, he had a 309 a week ago. Man improves that stuff as faster than anyone you'll ever meet. Rodeo _ follow him. So homie.
Nicely done by
But
the runners.
yeah, if you guys, like we said earlier, if you guys have any questions at all, ask away in the chat. We're reading it. We're paying attention to it. So, have any questions?
Running in this game
Far away.
Actually, you might not think it's that crazy. It hurts my brain so much. It is.
I also keep forgetting that I can draw on the screen. I gotta not forget.
Oh yeah.
Gotta make
I
sure
need
to use that more.
Keep reminding you. Here's your first test. You can circle
Oh.
circle the owl dude in front of the common metal in Honey Bloom.
The owl dude.
The owl dude in front of the
Oh, the one that
common
you
metal.
freeze with 2P?
Yes.
Oh,
Or-
yeah.
Freeze that guy. Or circle around him or something.
Alright, my arrow skills are gonna be on point in this next one, just you wait. So this is Honey Bloom, so we get introduced to the bee mushroom. The bee mushroom is very slow. So we're gonna be doing a lot of movement that tries to avoid the bee mushroom. Obviously we can't do it in all the sections, but in most of the sections we're gonna do a bunch of different platforming to avoid it. You see the section here it's showing in the cutscene is the main one.
This game, you might say, oh, this is the bee suit. Isn't the bee suit super
But an important thing to note about this section is the clouds and the flowers. So normally you can't jump on those. Normally with Mario, if you jump on them, they disappear. They don't like being jumped on by Mario. But if you jump within, I think it's a 4-frame window,
Galaxy 2 movement. Watch
you can actually get an extra jump or a side flip or even a long jump off them.
that initial flick off of the vine. And now gonna be going in. There's the bee suit. Not gonna use it. Gonna try that.
So you're also going to be freezing some of these enemies with 2P.
Jumps off of the
Get better cycles, we're going to be freezing. This guy, I cannot find my mouse. That guy by there. Top tier drawing skills.
Proud of you.
Yeah, so this is one of the bees that we have to grab. So now that we're a bee, that is an arrow.
Need that in order to get through the next section.
Trace the vine.
Trace the vine. I'll trace
There'll
the
be
next
practice.
one.
There'll
I'll
be
trace the
practice.
next one. It'll be like the Mario Party minigame.
Yeah.
They're going to be intentionally losing the bee here, intentionally taking damage, allowing us to get up this section a lot quicker. Be dodging
Yeah.
the fuzzies though.
The bee, while it's cool in concept, I guess, it's incredibly slow.
Okay, I'm not very good at tracing this vine. That was not very good.
Oh, shoot. I need to pull up. I can't see the drawings on my end, so I have to pull up the screen to see them.
Oh, you can't see them.
Oh, perfect. I have delay. Okay.
I was like, we had to wait for the delay there.
The
Oh my
delayed
god.
reaction. Yeah. That's really
That was
funny.
honestly beautiful.
Top tier world record commentary brought to you by Jay.
We're not artists. Wait, Nukes, I have to ask. Has anyone come on the show with like a drawing tablet?
This run, especially with
Yes. Yeah, we have had someone come on and use a drawing tablet, and it was really, really awesome.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
right there. You see Jay showing off. It's a nice.
So I've gotta keep up the standards now. I've just got my mouse.
That is how they are controlling all of this. That is way more complicated.
Gotta step up your art game next time.
I'll have to get practicing.
Keep enemies stunned to grab coins and bring them to you when you need them for damage boosts and whatnot. Just, keeping cycle.
Yeah, this next one is one of the fastest stars in the run. This is kind of like the breather sigh of relief after the incredible, pain of Honey Hive 1. This is Honey Hive S. No, Honey Hive. What's this one? Honey Bloom. Been
Honey
playing too
Bloom.
much Galaxy 1.
That is how that works.
Yeah, basically all you're gonna do for this one is just a bunch of quick wall jumps up here, and the stars are right there. I think it's like a 15 or 16 second star. It's very fast.
Yeah, it's one of the fastest splits in the run for sure.
Here helping me out. It's great.
A true co-op run. But we have another round change here. We have Claire doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my drawing ready for this next one because the next one we got is Cosmic Cove S. And this is a huge 2P level because there's a lot of coin collecting we're going to do for this one. So we're going to initially feed the Hungry Luma.
Incredibly complicated stuff, and
We need 15 coins.
Probably
That's-
around the next
yeah.
6 hours explaining why everything works the way it does. So I'm going to spare you that because no one wants to hear me talk for more than I need to.
Alright, let's see if we can choose a good color though. I'm not going to use blue.
Blue and cosmic, you wouldn't be able to see anything.
when it comes to routing stuff. But anyway, we're heading into.
I think we're gonna go. No, we can't go yellow because that's the color of the coins. All right, we're gonna go green. Green will work.
Green will work.
It's just kind of like a little switch up. Jay did Honey Bloom before Cosmico. The rest do Cosmico before Honey Bloom.
Yep. So you're going to be seeing again, like I said, the different order, but we have now seen all of these stars again. Take note as they.
Yeah, this water section is gonna be the most important one. So we're gonna grab a bunch of stabbits that we're gonna use to shoot the. Oh, what are these enemies called? This one always-
Snoodles.
The Snoodles. Those
That's my
ones.
favorite name. Snoodles.
So yeah, we're gonna grab one of these coins up here.
We're
gonna grab.
And a surprising amount of people don't know this, but there are 2 ways to actually get coins from Snoodles. One of the ways is obviously shine the light, but also if you shoot 2 starbits at it, one when it's like, you know, on top, and one when it like goes down, shivering down. Both of those ways give you coins. But we use 2P to grab that coin over there, so we don't have to go out of our way to get that coin. Get the Comet Medal, and then go up here, hit the button, then feed the Hungry Luma. The reason we do the Hungry Luma, feed the Hungry Luma now, instead of in. Well, the reason we're going to dish the Hungry Luma now and come back later for it is because of how the route pays out. Because we have to get that. You have to come back to this area eventually. One to hit the button, one to get the Luma. And it's faster because of how the Comet Medal lines up, because we can get the Comet Medal as fast as possible. The way it lines up is faster to get all the coins earlier and then enter this. Because we have to go back to that area and backtrack anyway. So it's just faster based on where the launch star spawns.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna come back to this level straight away and do the secret.
Because of Bank Toad, we don't need any starbits for the entire run. And actually, if you get
And that'll almost be the end of World 2. So that's like, I guess that's what we would call the early game section. It's like once you leave World 2, you're like out of the early game, which
You're out of early
sounds
game,
crazy calling the early game 50 minutes into the run.
Not really. 242, the early game's 80%.
my 3-hour early games.
That's what I call it.
I don't know if he would necessarily call it, he backed it up or anything, but super.
Yeah, I think it was around this point of the run where I started to think, oh god, this one's actually pretty good. I think I even said in my my offline chat after World 2, I was like 8 seconds ahead or something. But yeah, this time we can just go through the water as fast as we can. It's actually quicker to grab the shell rather than the spam shaking. Gonna grab some stab because we're gonna need that for the bunny.
I think actually if you do frame perfect shaking, it's faster.
Really?
But obviously, I think I might be spreading horrible misinformation on the internet, but I'm pretty sure because I think the task skips a shell.
Yeah, this bunny here, he's gonna be waiting for us.
And then we're gonna be waiting for him.
Yeah, he's by that. I'm just gonna shoot him once or twice and walk over, and he's gonna walk straight into us. It's easy as that. We don't have to do any of the button mashing. There's a button by that. And basically, what that does is it changes the whole area to ice instead of water. Allows us to catch the bunny easier. We don't even need to do that. You just run in straight into us.
Water.
the water.
Water. It's fine. My dad says water. Philly.
They don't exist.
Oh my British is coming out.
Keep them from existing. And then when we need them to, boom, they exist, and boom, the cycles are good. But right here, we're going to see a very...
Yeah, now it's time for the first Bowser stage. This is probably the least cool Bowser stage, but probably one of the most cool levels in the whole run. There's actually so much that you can do here. And it's actually crazy how each Bowser stage just gets more and more wacky with the strats.
You saw her hold a coin through the entirety of the level just for that. She didn't have to grab the 6-up and get.
See, the main theme in this one is going to be damage boosting, so there's going to be a lot of me grabbing coins to like replenish my health while doing a bunch of like fire boosting.
So much time. It's really bad. But all of them nailing it.
I like how Bigger J is happy and Smaller J is focused. Thank you, Joe Cool.
You can see just the contrast of the two cameras. It's so funny.
You see the the work and then the reward.
That is a really cool part about speedrunning, though. Like being able to look back at runs that you achieved and like be proud of them. Yeah, so you see, I'm actually gonna be holding this coin with 2p here, and as soon as I take damage, pass the coin over to Mario, instantly replenish the health. Then here we're gonna do a small camera minute because there's some thwomps coming up, and while these enemies are off screen, the game basically treats them as if they don't exist. So it allows us to get more favorable cycles. Yeah, the same thing in this next section. We're gonna grab one of these coins. So it basically allows us to have 4 HP instead of 3, which is just what we need for this damage boost. So we're gonna go straight across one of these statues, bounce off the first, long jump off the second.
Yeah,
It's
and that's
terrifying because you enter the boss with 1 HP.
yeah. Not only that, but also the hitboxes. I guess they're not hitboxes, but the collision of the Bowser statues are either slopes or flat ground, and that flat ground area is so tiny, and if you land on a slope you're more or less dead. You can back it up, it's really difficult, but yeah, so those Bowser statues are incredibly difficult. But there's actually another 2p time save there, an extra one besides, so because you can grab that coin with 2p and hold it and use it as like a 4th health, you don't need to grab the 6p health. Not 6p, 6 health, like the 6 up. You have 6 lives. That one, the life shroom. Yeah, that's what it's called. I forgot its name. So you don't, and there's like a mini cutscenes like ba 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 da ba ba ba. Like wow, you did it. You got the life shroom. Now you will waste 5 seconds in a text box you can't skip. But so 2p has a time save there. Also, another thing I'm realizing that I never mentioned in the run itself, I never mentioned camera cancels.
Really?
Yeah, I'm realizing that right now.
It's such an easy thing to look over, though. It's just like something that you're just used to doing all the time. Come on, Rox, you can redeem yourself. You can explain them now. Well, what is a camera cancel?
Well, I want to wait till summer your camera cancels because now's like the worst place to explain it.
No camera cancels here at all.
Yeah, none. Go to launch start right now, in the middle of Bowser fight.
Yeah, these Bowser fights, as much as they look really easy as you're watching me do them, it's actually pretty hard to line up Bowser in the exact spot. So I'm basically trying to get him to punch as close to the meteors as possible so I can get like an instant hit. You can't really go too early. You have to wait until like the perfect moment to be able to hit back at him.
Yeah, and it gets even harder in the next Bowser fight because you implements punch canceling.
One of my best friends, I love him to death. So huge shout out to Stick. Anyway, we're heading into World 3.
Yeah, at this point, this was, let me see what the exit was. Yes, that was a 50-40 World 2 exit.
Yeah, that's
which is actually
really
like
good.
really good. I think my best ever that I've got was a 50-28, so it's like 12 seconds off my best ever pace, which is like really good for a no reset.
To keep you informed as in who's in the lead right now, but it is very difficult to tell because they've done many different stars of different lengths. But we're heading to Cloudy Court 1.
You can even see in the camera I'm like breathing a sigh of relief here.
And for good reason, it's going to be hardcore almost falling there.
Yeah, World 3 is where the run starts getting real. So there's a big trick coming up in World 3 called Sub Betty Skip. And it's basically where all good runs go to die. That's where all the runs just go to die. And even at the start of the run, we were in the green room preparing, and I was the only one actually planning to go for this in the race. And I was talking to the runners, I was like, what do I do if it just doesn't work? 'Cause it's one of those tricks, it's like, You know, some days it works perfectly every time. Some days it just doesn't work. And it's like, well, what if it doesn't work now during this?
Right here, this 2D section is one of the most hardest sections to optimize in the entire run.
Oh, I was terrified. That's coming up in about 3 or 4 levels.
Get up, doing a cloud long jump through the cloud, so we get the momentum and the
Why is it run in Chinese and not in English? So in the Galaxy games, there's a lot of text. So by running the game in Chinese, there's a lot less characters, so the text scrolls by a lot quicker. But it's actually pretty hard to get a Chinese disc.
Yeah, they are somehow not the most rare version of this game.
There's so many rare versions of Galaxy.
I think the rarest is the Korean disc, easily. Because not only do you need a Korean disc, but you need a PAL Wii, which is the only way to play it. You can't play it on like a North American Wii. And I think I'm the only moron on this planet who owns a Korean disc and a Korean Wii. But it's like 5 seconds slower than Chinese. So I'm not special anymore.
All over again, and it's just not fun.
That's what you're seeing right now is fastest version of the game on the fastest route. Basically like all the fastest stuff you can do.
On 2P.
On 2P as well.
Me when.
Fastest amount of players.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of cloud momentum stuff in this level going on. As you'll see in basically every level that has the cloud flow, we'll find some crazy way to abuse it. So use some cloud boost here to get completely over this section. That was supposed to be a long jump.
That was supposed to be a long jump, yeah.
Ended up still making it anyway.
You got yeeted up there.
You got the nod of approval from past Jay there.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, this whole section's on a tight cycle, so you gotta barely get the common middle while getting on the cloud to get just barely through that section. And a clean side flip into the ending.
But do keep in mind he's got another cell. So basically, all this to be said, all 4 of our runners are very, very, very close, and we've still got 2 hours left in the race.
Yeah, now we're heading into Freezy Flake. This is where the funny happens.
We got a little bit of time before the funny, though. And
a little bit of time. We got one more level before it.
I wouldn't call that level not funny either. It's pretty. There's a few things that can happen that can make the star pretty funny.
I don't know what they're called, but they're like.
Oh my god, Freezy Flake's a horrible time to explain camera cancels too.
This level where you can't really do them in like half the place.
No, and also there's one that's like an auto camera cancel. I like how you're trying to communicate something in the face cam.
I don't know, there was so many points of the room where the offline chat was telling me to do stuff in the camera if I could hear them. They'll probably find me doing some goofy stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Failing this is just boom, time loss. But we're actually going to see Jay, instead of doing Freezy Flake S, which is the champion game, he's going to be going for
going straight through here. So this fire flower is one huge cycle. If you end up failing to open up everything you need to, you have to grab a whole new fire flower, and I think it loses like 20 seconds. Probably one of the most punishing cycles.
It sucks. And
so
you saw
this
him.
One here.
You saw him get like clip through the slide, and that like itself makes getting the cycle so much easier. First off, but it's also pretty difficult. If you miss it, it makes the cycle a lot harder. So don't miss it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, small damage boost here as well to get over to the other side. Just 2 more hits on the Bowser statue, and that's that level over. But now we're heading in. You can see myself mentally preparing, look.
You see him unplugging, Wait, what do you do? Unvelcro?
Yeah, unvelcro the 2P remote.
Unvelcro the 2P
Get into the so-many skip position. Yes, this is one of the only levels in the room where I take off the 2P, because for this trick coming up called so-many skip, you want to be mashing the A button on the same frame that you're shaking the controller. So I hold the controller in a specific way so I can mash it, and mash hard enough that it actually shakes the controller. And you need about 15 of these in a rhythm. And it wasn't thought to be RTA viable until I think it was about a year ago when Valu discovered the setup for it.
the boulder ball and
But
try
it's
to fly with it.
become a huge gatekeeper of runs since then because it saves a decent amount of time, especially in any percent.
Shake in midair and you hit the A button. You can.
This is what everyone was waiting for. This was the moment.
This was the moment. This was the make or break of the run. I actually want to be quiet. I want to hear how I popped off here.
The boss fight, Sword Betty. So this is Freezing Flake 2, and you see him just going at it. He's going. He's got height. He's going. He's going. He's going. He's going.
Yeah, that was like a perfect one as well, just straight into the launch style. It was like
Oh
beautiful.
my god. Didn't you gold
Oh
that?
my god, unbelievable stuff.
No, it was a slow setup at the beginning.
Yet this boss fight is very difficult, especially in the
Yeah, I
middle
can imagine.
because of the
That's
second
safe.
hit. First one's really simple. Just run up, shake him, slap him in the nose.
Why am I getting an incoming call from Ginkerbor?
What you can do, what you can do,
It's like 5 a.m. for him.
long jump,
Yes.
long jump, and hit Sword
No,
Betty.
Ginko, no. Where's the decline button? How do you decline a call?
Oh no.
She got Sword Betty skip. That is absolutely.
Oh my god, you can see the huge Slayer relief in the small me camera.
Cannot be overstated just how difficult that
Yeah, it's not even the end of it. 'Cause in the next level as well, there's a very small optimization you can do with it.
whatsoever.
So that one basically skipped the entire level, like 3 sections, waking up the boss. I was just spawn planet to the boss fight. This next one skips so much less. It is incredibly not worth. Should I have gone for it? Probably not.
Probably,
No.
definitely not.
It literally only saves like 4 seconds, and it's the exact same thing. It's very stupid.
I can imagine.
Yeah, normally what you'd do here is you'd enter the first stage and use the fire flower, but this time I'm entering the second stage and I'm using the rock, and I'm gonna do some more rock jumps, skipping the entire planet again. That's actually a really clean one too.
Nearly as necessary. Just saves a little bit of time so we get to the chip game a little faster. So this is gonna
Oh my god.
This is probably like the most hype that I got for like most of the run.
Yeah, that's like so that it's such a difficult trick. Like there's so many theories on how it works. It wasn't found even remotely consistent until Valu was like, oh maybe.
You know, yeah, this minigame's kind of a break, which is nice. You know, after the most stressful trick of the run, you just do the minigame, relax a little bit.
That's incredibly clean. All ends. Oh my goodness. What a speed run.
But yeah, this is a perfect time. If chat has any questions about anything that's happened so far, feel free. They're gonna be putting back on the 2P remote now. Keeping it like that for the rest of the run. Safe and sound on my second remote.
Big audience with all its crazy tricks. I encourage all viewers who are able to donate $25 if any of the runners manage to get a first try into the castle. An extremely hard trick later in the run.
You can
Into
already
the
hear
castle.
commentary. Talking about one of the tricks coming up.
Calling it into the castle.
To select the incentive at the
ITC.
Not into the castle.
and some change.
We will not be going into the castle.
But without those 4 seconds, you wouldn't have gotten record. True.
So thank you.
If you didn't do so bad, you would not have gotten record.
That is very true, actually.
7 Ray D, not Maxi Loaves, as I've been screaming.
Oh, this is where me and Spike realized that we were saying the wrong person was running the wrong game
Not your fault. That
for the donation incentive.
Oh no.
Resident Evil, but it'll be up to 7 variety.
It was really funny.
I'm sure Maxi would be happy that it gets in. But 7 Ray would love to showcase.
So what's the rubber band setup I have on my remotes? I've got them by here that I can show you. So I've got Velcro in the middle between them. That allows me to like take them off and back and forth and stuff. And I've got just 2 bands at the top, which helps keeps the cursors close together. So I can basically just rip the Velcro off whenever I need them separately.
I know that number is tempting. to
Always get it handy.
We need to get off of that. We need to get to many more.
Yeah, this is Haunty Holes 1. This is another level. We do a small camera minute for the beginning. Same kind of thing. It's not on the screen, it doesn't exist. So all these cycles over here, they didn't exist for the first like 5 seconds, allowing us to barely make this cycle. It's a really tight one. Yeah, basically like any missed long jump here, you're gonna miss the whole cycle.
One of the most incredible difficult strats just ever. Like, come on, how can you not donate for something like that? That was absolutely insane. This has been an insane performance for all 4 runners so far. Well, let's hit that incentive during this run. Let's go a little crazy.
do it, gamers. Let's do it.
Honey House 1 is an incredibly difficult level as well.
Keeping up on those cycles as they're
Yeah,
coming
the whole cycle
really
is like
is.
so tight to make.
and strong in this run. Make sure they keep it
Yeah,
low.
all ends up leading to this next section of the comet is you can barely make it just before the platform arrives.
And anyone who like maybe is not as familiar with the game casually, you need those common metals to spawn a bunch of very fast stars that will.
And this flutter is really, it looks pretty simple, but it can go really wrong.
Difficult section we're seeing right here. Down on Claire's screen,
Yeah, this section wants you to go through the whole thing, but you can just flutter over the whole thing. Just hook straight into the star.
would like us to use Yoshi, but she doesn't want to
Very
use
fast,
Yoshi.
very
She's playing
clean.
it all by herself, and that is incredibly difficult angles off of the tree. Those little
Oh,
curved
for sure.
surfaces to keep it
It's
going.
incredibly awkward. But right here, we are going to be using Yoshi, not the blimp fruit though. Because right here, we're actually going to skip using the blimp fruit by doing an infinite flutter, grabbing the common metal, moving on by, which is really great stuff. Not over yet.
Rex, I think he's trying to call me as well. I can hear my phone going. I don't even know where it is.
That's not me, that's Gecko. He keeps calling me.
Why is he trying to call us?
I don't know.
Anyway, that was clean.
I kept telling him to stop.
Yeah, coming up next is one of my favorite levels, especially at the beginning. The movement at the beginning is beautiful. So this is the level that introduces you to the blimp fruit. At the beginning here, we're going to completely avoid Yoshi. We're going to completely avoid the blimp fruit. And we're going to just tackle the tree as Mario, which is actually kind of a mess because it's like a giant cylinder. And some of these long jumps to get around the cylinder are a giant pain.
Super, super cool.
So we're going to start off with a triple jump to get up to this first platform.
In your cycles, there was one
Slightly messing it up. That's fine.
I'm pretty sure thin air, but he's just that. You might say hardcore. It's not
Yeah, basically going to be scaling the whole tree using Mario.
from all of our runners here today.
And that's really tight. You have to be really careful about how much momentum you have.
Climb up just
Because you might,
again, we got a bunch
you need a very specific amount to get the right height and verticality to make the height of the platform.
I remember what the current pace was at this point of the run. So when I run, I normally use like a balanced comparison, which has the time save like spread throughout the run. So I think on the balanced comparison, I was, I can check. It was 14 ahead, which is actually like,
Are you comparing against your PB or your sub 3 comparison?
yeah, that was just the balanced PB comparison.
Balance sub 3, yeah.
Yeah, it's just right there. Why wouldn't you do it?
So you were, really?
Yeah, the balanced sub 3 was, I think I was like 2 minutes ahead of that by this point. Yeah, 2 minutes ahead.
And then the flips, they swap. Very aptly named.
Oh, true, Roxy, the chat reminded to explain what camera cancels are.
I did. Dude, you don't do any in that level.
That's another minor talent that you can do with 2 feet. Freezing enemies, and sometimes those enemies can give you extra momentum, especially with Yoshi and the blimp fruit. That's not the only time we'll be seeing it during this run. Hardcore going for his first silly jump, nailing it.
Yeah, it's actually so nice to like have all the splits up by here. I can just look at.
Over here right now. Boom. Nailing it as well. Not to be understated.
I think at this point I was just over a minute off of my best segments, which for a game like Galaxy, because my summer best when I was running this category at the time was a 250-50. To play like 3 or 4 minutes off sub in a category this punishing is actually really difficult, because most deaths that you can take in this game probably lose a minute. Like if you take a death, you're probably losing like 30 to a minute.
the platform to go over the last electricity gate right there into the final star. Again, this is just one of my absolute favorite galaxies in the Galaxy series. Just
for
being
sure.
able
Another
to
question, how long did it take to remember the route? So, funny thing, I don't remember the route. I will never be able to remember the route. I've
Really?
always got splits open. Yeah, there's absolutely no way I could recall the route from memory.
Hey, Jay, question. Jay, question.
Uh-huh.
When you go to ESA, how do you remember the route?
Okay, so funny story. At the last ESA, when me and Hanko were doing our race,
the first of our
I
Yeah.
obviously didn't have live split open. So I had
Oh,
to,
you had Dan, Stone, and Kyle. I remember that, yeah.
so I had had the commentators get the route up on the phone and just relay it to me as we were playing. Because I have got the worst memory ever when it comes to like remembering routes. I just can't do it.
That's weird, because it didn't take me that long to remember the route. I remember it, like I didn't try to remember it. It just happened to come to me.
Yeah.
And then I was just like in the shadows, like, wait a second, I remember this route. Like,
Like, if you were to ask
out of
me,
my head.
like, what the next, I don't know, I guess I could probably name, like, the next few stars ahead. Like, I'm pretty sure next is Fearsome Fleet. Right? Wait, it's not, is it? It's not. I don't think it is.
can't remember if this route or not.
It's not.
It's not at all. You do the World 2 revisit.
No, that's also not true. That's also not true.
Is that not true? I don't know the route either.
And this is why we use splits.
Well, okay, I don't use this route, so I wouldn't know, because I don't run this route. It's cloudy.
Do you have trouble remembering the route for other runs too, or is it just this one?
Oh yeah, all of them. There's no way I could remember
No,
a full route, especially with
You
the...
run so many different categories though, so I feel like that's got to be part of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially with all the new routes, there's so many different routes, especially in 90% SMG2. Or like nowadays, Galaxy 1, 120. Now is a bunch of different routes, and even in a bunch of different segments, you can like mix and match the routes.
It's the routing in the Galaxy games is just crazy.
It's
not like,
so cool.
Looking,
it's so
looking at
cool,
it
but
from
it's
an
like-
outside perspective, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but it's still like really cool
Yeah.
because it's one of those
Sorry, I
things. It's one of those.
Sorry, I think during.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You go ahead.
No. You. I insist. You're the host.
You, I think during AGDQ, you all did different routes, right?
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's incredible because there was 4 of you.
Well, okay. It was 3 routes through 4 different people, because
okay.
Hardcore and Viper did the same route. But I thought, but honestly, Hardcore was debating it on making it a 4 route difference. And the reason for that
Just
is
to make it
because
more awkward.
the reason for that is that Jay's using the fastest route possible, 2P and the Sorbetti route together. And that's the fastest route. 2P Sorbetti. Hardcore and Viper were doing... Hardcore was debating on doing the route with 1P Sorbetti. But he ended up doing, as well as Viper, 1P no Sorbetti. And then Claire did a route, an old route, because she wanted to show off a trick that Jay didn't do. Which is just the old 90% route. So like no version of the current route. It was like just old route that's outdated and is objectively slower.
Yeah, a lot happens.
Yeah.
But right here, we got.
Yeah, you would think it'd be simple. Sorry, no, you go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, looking back at that in hindsight, we're definitely all gonna have to do the same route if we do this again.
I think it was kind of funny. It was kind of annoying seeing, wait, no, Jay's in last. Wait, no, Claire is in third. Wait, because, you know.
Never tell who's in first.
Yeah, you always have people pretending they know what they're talking about.
Right here, Jay heading to B block, Hardcore heading to Tall Trunk 1. Just a little bit of some repeat levels. I think
So another question is, there's still optimizations to find you can cut the times. So in terms of strats that I don't do, there's a couple of strats that I don't do. So in Throwback 1, there's a clip called Thwomp Clip, which saves about 4 seconds that I don't do, but that's like very late in the run, and if you miss that, oh boy, that's not fun.
It's-
I'm trying to think what else.
But that's not one of those strats that are like RTA valuable. Old records used to do that. When the record was
Yeah.
311, it did it.
That's just a strat that I personally hate.
There's a couple of strats. There's a strat in Starshine Beach 2, where you can do a triple jump instead of the. Well, we haven't gotten there yet, but you'll see.
You still have time for a few more, Dad.
But there's a faster strat that saves like 2 seconds. And when Hardcore was grinding for record a few years ago, he was like, always, do I go for it? Do I not go for it? Do I go for it? It's one of those. But you mostly err on the
I hate
side of
tricks
don't
like
go
that.
for it. Yeah.
Good luck with the runs.
That's why, well, I don't want to say that's why Broom is great, but the fact that you don't lose time going for it.
Up right there by Super Viper, the immediate ground pound and knowing to go into the backflip option to keep it going.
Yeah, in terms of like future optimization of the category, like I've already like personally had a couple of paces that could have been 253 with a game like this, and with how like we'll show you later how punishing the late game is. But a lot of runs don't seem to make it.
So another question, how big is the difference between a regular and software assisted runs? I'm assuming you mean tool assisted runs. But so at least in 242, sub 7 is possible with an optimized TAS. No, that's a joke. That's a community
We do
joke.
have a completed any % task, but it's slightly.
Oh, I
it's missing a
completely
little
forgot
bit.
about that. Yeah, it's boosting a decent amount. Predominantly, Strometi skip is missing from it.
That
But
test is a 249, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, it was a 249. But it's decently outdated. It doesn't do a decent amount of strats. I completely forgot about that task. Oh my god. I think it was made by. It's by a Japanese tasser. I forget their name. It's like Highs or something.
I'm mainly a Galaxy 2 runner, but I'm dabbling in some Odyssey right now.
But it's really cool tasks, and a lot of tricks were actually found. Goryuya, when he was grinding for record, took a lot of strats from the task, from that specific task, into his gameplay.
So shout out to everyone who completed that.
But we also have another task being made, Green's task, over on Purple Sun's channel. Who's a super cool task of this game. Working on a full Greens RTA test, and that's gonna be super cool because Greens is really cool.
I think so far that task is already like 3 minutes ahead.
Yeah,
It's
it's
only in World 3.
insane. It's in World 3.
crazy, like how much most stuff you can do with tasking in Galaxy.
Why do
is
I-
impossible at the
Why do I have 12 missed calls from Giga War?
Oh no.
He's the absolute legend. You can't go wrong with Spike. He's been doing everything for so long. I love this man.
But yeah, now we're going to Fearsome Fleet, and this is another one of the most difficult levels in the whole run.
Yeah.
Pretty common theme with the Bowser Jr. and the Bowser levels.
I was gonna say the same thing. I was just gonna say the same thing, but like it's a pretty common theme in general. A lot of difficult levels.
Yeah,
It's
true.
not an easy run. A lot of people, so many people take the Galaxy games for granted. Like, oh, they're so easy. You just long jump. Nah.
Yeah, we're gonna be skipping this whole beginning section with Yoshi. We're gonna have to dismount slightly early before we lose momentum. Barely make it to this next platform. And now we're gonna be doing what's called question block fodder. So we're gonna be doing a really precise fodder to get over to this question mark block. And then from here, what we're gonna want to do is grab the common medal and then fly under the cage. But in this run, I actually messed it up slightly, so it's a very precise angle you need here. But I didn't have a good enough angle, so I kind of had to abort. And instead of going below, I had to go above.
Oh, you were so close to getting sloped there.
Yeah, that was terrifying. That was
Yeah, that would've
definitely
been run
one of the
over.
points where it should have died.
This was a plot armor moment. I hate
There are
you,
so
plot
many of
armor.
those.
I
So
despise
many
it.
plot armor moments.
Can't keep getting away with this, man. Cannot.
Oh yeah.
G2 seems much harder than G1. It is.
Little tiny optimizations you can do with the bullet
I hate to say
G2 is a
it to all
pretty
my G1
ridiculous
lovers,
run.
but G2 is just
and how you can keep it through different phases of the fight.
so punishing.
You see the two orbs on his.
And the main reason why is actually because of the checkpoint system. Galaxy 1, there's no physical checkpoints. There's just, you like kind of land in this area and you'll get a checkpoint for free. Galaxy 2, you kind of have to go out of your way to get checkpoints because they're like physical beings.
You never normally want to do that really in the speedrun, because obviously you're going out your way for the checkpoints,
Yeah.
it's just slow.
And hopefully, and there's no point in even getting the checkpoint. Because if you die, you're not going to go back to the checkpoint and continue. You're probably going to reset. But this boss is actually really difficult. You have to, there's a lot of things that go into it. Multitasking with Yoshi hits, you have to aim pretty well. Jay having a very decorated Overwatch background and incredible aim.
Yeah, so that World 3, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that was a 1:15:52.
Yeah, that's insane. Well, it's not that insane. It's all right.
Yeah, it's 22 seconds off of my best ever. So like it wasn't like, my best run ever, but it was still fairly close.
Boom, a little bit of a setup here. Like I said, this is an incredibly precise angle because Yoshi, you're gonna be able to keep the speed, but also have the angle so not only that you.
Yeah, this is the point now where we go from like the difficult levels into the incredibly difficult levels. Like World 4, 5, and 6
World 4 is
house like all of the hardest
World 4 is
strats.
despair.
Yeah, specifically in this run, the World 4, like this is where the nerves started picking up, and it became really sloppy. There wasn't any like too big mistakes, but there was a lot of like sloppy mistakes, which you'll probably be able to notice.
Oh,
in the
this
next
is
few
you
splits.
lost like didn't you lose a minute and a half here in World 4?
Yeah, I think to my goals it was like a minute and a bit.
And you're basically not going to go anywhere after a while. Didn't need to go horizontally any further. Just needed to get that little bit of height to save himself. Only losing a couple seconds right there, keeping that distance.
Yeah, it's nice. Before going into each of these worlds, you get a nice cutscene break. Get to collect yourself, calm down before going into sweet mystery.
Oh boy, sweet mystery. Oh, this is where you let me down when I'm commentating. You let me down
I
so
did
many
a little
times. Yeah. You mess up when I was about to. I was hyping you up so much. I had so much faith in you.
The berry bounce, no.
The Barry Bounce incident of 2023. Troll despair.
And it is known to troll a lot of runs. I want to shout out one of my best friends, Mr. Cloud Kirby, who actually one time had a really good run going, and a crab actually.
Yeah,
Who is in
inside
Boulder Bowl C at this point in the run?
killable. So obviously the run died.
Vulnerable C. I think it was Claire. I think she was in Vulnerable C.
Just, I can't remember. There's so many different routes. I can't remember all of them. Because this is really early to do Boulder Bowl C in a normal circumstance.
Shouts to Mr. Cloud Kirby.
Yeah, I remember always looking over through the screen and just seeing her in random levels. It just didn't make any sense because I never ran when Supermassive Route was like a thing.
He's taking a little bit of a break.
God, you're that new.
We love you.
I'm a Zoomer.
Everybody watching, I hope you're a fan of this race.
It's been started in what, 2019?
Later than that.
2020? Earlier than that?
Yeah, like late 2020.
That's later than that. 2020 is later than 2019.
Oh, that grab on the berry there was so close. Because if you missed that, you basically just have to die and go back. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the berry bounce that Rox was talking about. Normally I want to land on this berry, but I think I slightly missed it.
Yeah, you missed it.
Oh, never mind. She missed
This up is awful.
Oh, never mind, you missed it.
All those speeches are chasing me.
Make Yoshi like Tommy. That doesn't
So we have to go for this backup flutter. I think I ended up
Backup.
losing about 10 seconds here.
Yeah, that's-
And not only that, it gives you extra speed and acceleration, so you just go schmoovin' with Yoshi.
This
all
was the
way
beginning of my downfall.
So, not too bad. You just gotta go grab the extra
Little
This
World
was the-
4 incident.
full berry and make it all the way.
World 4 incident 2023.
But still a really clean backup though for the circumstances. Like this is one thing that is very important in the Galaxy games. Like there's a lot of things that can go wrong in these 3 hours. So making sure that you know all your backups is like incredibly important. It's probably more important than like, well, not as important, but you know, still really important as the actual strats themselves.
There's no depth barrier there under the floor. There's just an invisible floor that like expands the entirety of the galaxy. So if you fall off Yoshi during that flutter, you have to long jump and long jump and long jump and hope you can find the edge of that death plane soon so you can fall off. Otherwise, tricky stuff will be.
Yeah, that's another one of the coolest stages to look at from a spectator point of view, honestly. This is Flipsville, so this is kind of like right side down, where there's a bunch of gravity changes and switches, which you normally do with these grates. But instead of doing that, we're just going to skip all that completely. So we're going to flip down this underside once, go all the way on the underside over to the common middle, and from here we're just going to go straight over to the other platform, straight into the gravity change. And instead of doing the gravity change by here to go into the launch side, we're going to go up on top and use the slope momentum to push us all the way to the boss arena. And this trick is terrifying. It's like one of the fairly easier strats, but it's scary. Because if you die, there's no checkpoints in this whole level, so you just end up right back at the beginning. Then as for the boss fight, this is probably the easiest boss in the whole run. You
That's
can
not
literally
true.
just-
That's not true.
No? What's the other one?
Mana bug.
That doesn't count as a boss fight.
Yes, it is. That's
It's
still
not
a boss.
It's a single bug.
It's a boss. It is definitively. It's
There's no way it's
dictionary
actually classed as a
defined.
boss.
Yeah, it's definitionarily defined. As a
I'm
boss.
checking the Galaxy Wiki. I'm checking the Wiki.
It's a boss.
That's not a boss.
It is a boss. It is the same equivalent. It is a boss.
Alright, I'm gonna compare the Mandibug to Mega Hammer, which is the better boss.
Mega Hammer, Clam Dozer.
Oh yes, same thing, same thing.
And being able to skip all the way to the boss arena, barely avoiding all of these death planes right here, and now going to be taking on the boss.
Definitionarily, yeah, I'm gonna have to use that one in future.
Definitionarily, I couldn't remember the word.
Crossover each other's steps.
You bet.
Yeah, we're at that point in the run now where you'll see a lot of these cutscenes of the comets spawning in. So we're gonna do a couple of revisits of these earlier worlds, but that's gonna be a lot later in the run.
Hype train to Shadow of Rose. Who's with me, chat?
So we got a next couple levels coming up now, and I think we're gonna head back
5 tickets for the hype train
to World 2.
Choo choo. And then $50 from a Dynamite that says, here's the $50 as promised for Sorbetti Skip. Close this out and get that record.
Talking about Sorbetti. Talking about Sorbetti. I want to shout out Doopsy.
I wasn't gonna point this out till later.
Doopsy's incredible.
Donation kinda meant
Just
it.
everything.
He's on a very good run. I'm looking at
They
the
are
now.
very good.
I have the live feed,
Uh,
the insider information.
Super Paper Mario, Celeste,
Okay, sir, I'm not gonna lie. Jay is the world record
and
holder.
they were a former record holder of Galaxy
That was
2.
absolutely insane.
Grinding with Goryuya to push the game down to 254.
Insane.
255. They were the first 255.
Crazy. But right here, he's gonna flip the
And
goal.
it's really cool to see them improve, and they're
He's gotta hit him.
super cool. Highly recommend. Not underscore Doopsy on Twitch.
With the comet variation of this, where there's purple coins. However,
Is this level we're in now?
still nothing
Flipsville 2. So these are all cycles you gotta make with the drill. So one of the nightmares in levels like this is side flipping with the drill is like impossible. I don't know why, for some reason they've just made side flipping with the drill like so much harder than just side flipping normally.
Yeah, they patched it.
I don't know if you agree, but
I do agree. It's horrible.
it is just awful for some reason. Like, can never point out why, but sure.
A big square. So you can utilize that to catch those stars that we just saw right there, or the purple coins we're going to be potentially picking up later on.
Oh yeah, and there's even more that meets the eye. Like at the very beginning of the level, you're supposed to like drill through a bunch of like this little maze, but we just like long jump past the little barrier and just go to where the launch star is to this section right here. So
And honestly, the Galaxy games where Galaxy 1 and 2 have, there's a lot of these like.
Yeah, now we have Chompworks 1. This is
We both
probably
forgot the route,
level-
didn't we? We both forgot the route, didn't we?
I was looking at my other screen for the route.
Yeah.
Oh, they want you to like.
Yeah, but
I
Chompworks.
almost said Puzzleplexy. I almost said
How
Puzzleplexy.
can Jay forget the route if he didn't know it to begin with?
True.
No, you know the route ish. You have to know it to an extent. Like, no, knowing it's like you know what it means. You know what going to Puzzle Plank means. If someone who never played the game before, they wouldn't know what it means.
Viper has a playlist of a bunch of different tutorials,
That's
known as like such as QBF, some of the Yoshi Star Flutters,
It's something I feel like I should know. I should know the route, but you know.
which is
I probably could still name you the 242 route.
to getting a very fast time.
I haven't ran that category in such a long time.
Don't make me test you, Rox. Don't make me test you.
I'll do it.
Game. It's such a fun speed game. I cannot.
I have nightmares from the hour-long World 3s. Felt like gardens.
Oh no. See, at Chompworks 1, this is probably the level in the run where 2P saves the most time. So small thing you know, watch me do there is bring down the green platform, allowing the Chomp to go through in one cycle.
I think it's just the biggest singular 2P time save.
And then this next section here, there is basically one huge cycle, and if you make it there early enough, you can stun the Chomp with 2P, which saves 10 seconds. I think it's the biggest individual 2P time save in the whole run.
I think so too.
However, this first cycle with
It was like it was like the first main like wow 2P might be a lot faster in G2.
we freeze it just enough so we can lower
Yeah,
it.
literally
That's
just
like-
stunning that Chomp allowed me to get there earlier. It saves a whole 10, and it's crazy how just easy it is.
Again,
Mm-hmm.
pretty crazy.
Two players showing just how powerful it is. And they
It's one of those. I think it's the equivalent of like Dusty Dune 2,
way to have
where like you need to use 2P.
anyone who missed the explanation earlier,
Like you're missing out.
runners are literally rocking
It is
I
like one of
say
those
let's
levels
use
that
1P.
even the runners that mainly use 1P will just turn on 2P just for this time save.
No. It's like okay, I need to do one 2P run. That's the one 2P optimization that you do. Just because of how easy it is.
At first, I think a lot of the people thought oh, this is kind of weird. The more I've watched it, no, it's absolutely better for the game.
Yeah, now it's time for our first revisit of the run. So we're 33 stars in. Now we're going to go back and start doing a bunch of these quick comments. So first of all, we got Puzzle Playing C. This will be the first of the purple coin levels. So this is where 2P really shines, because you can do some crazy, route things. Cut off a lot of lines.
Fairly simple level, as you saw earlier. We kind of glanced over it, but it's just a bunch of Cosmicos chasing you while you collect purple coins in a little dome area. Yeah, nothing too crazy. You can kind of do some cool movement to get all groups of coins at the same time.
Puzzle Blank Safe is Cosmic Clones chasing you in the purple coin dome. Pretty simple. A little bit of 2P optimizations, but not too much going on, for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those levels, it's really simple, but there's what small things you can do to optimize it. So you'll see me grab a couple of these on the left. So I'm basically trying to isolate some of these entire clusters, just to save some walking time. And that's while also, making sure I don't mess up my movement grabbing the regular ones.
Make sure to reach out and just grab little sets of purples to cut out and just make those lines a little bit straighter to get to
As long as we're keeping the line straight, it's usually pretty simple. It's a good introduction level to the bubble coins, pretty much.
And cutting out that little slight amount of movement that you can do with Mario. But right here, Claire's heading into Flipsville 2. Which we can kind of show up. We didn't actually point it out when it happened because there was so much happening at the time.
Yeah, now we have the single biggest RNG level in the whole run. I recall this going terribly in this record. It's Boulder Bowl Comet. So this level is completely random. There's 30 crabs that you gotta kill, and they love to just run in random directions for no reason. Absolutely nothing you can do about it. And they literally just run around. You have to try and kill them before the time runs out.
Right here, hardcore is in Chompworks 2 with some interesting hitbox motions on that chomp right there.
Very weird. Okay.
Yeah, the one thing that makes this really difficult is the planet is a giant sphere, so you can't really see on the other side. So you have to kind of guess and judge and angle yourself in the right direction, and it's just probably the worst level. So it's just random time loss.
And you can just see using it all the way. Controlling it.
Especially the blue crabs, those ones are the worst because those ones are fast.
As you would when you're controlling.
Even if you're you go pretty fast with the boulder, but even if you come at them really quick, they can still dodge you.
Nicely done. We got Jay right now taking on those crabs that we saw Claire taking on.
It starts off pretty well. We've got 35 seconds left on the timer, and now he's cleaning up these stray ones where it gets really bad because they're so spread out.
Yeah, and you have it easier because using 2P, you can kind of freeze them. But with 1P, you can't do that. And talking about 1P, I want to shout out CK, the homie, the 1P god. But he once had in this level somehow a crab spawn inside the planet.
Still have never seen that again since that. No one has ever had that happen to them.
There's a few things that's only ever happened to CK. CK is the only person I've ever seen who ever had it where the Melty Monster 2 ramp that shoots you into the main level after the intro part launched him over the launch star.
Oh no, I've had that too. I've had that once as well.
Really? I've never seen anyone else do it.
Yeah, apparently there's a reason for that. I don't remember why.
I'm sure there is, but it's probably incredibly stupid.
He just kind of, with his little feet, just kind of tip taps his way a little faster. Using 2P here is a huge optimization because you can actually.
Yeah, now we got Boulder L. This is one level that has. It's not a really high chance. It's a pretty decent chance of a soft lock.
I would say decent. It's 1%. I've never got it before personally.
I mean, I've seen it happen a decent amount, especially compared to most other soft locks in the game.
Have you ever happened?
I've had it twice.
Yeah, I've never had it.
You know,
And I have way too many arrows in this game.
You can just tell watching it, this is one of those stars.
Yeah, this gamer wants us to bring a Goomba over, so we're just gonna kind of lure him while holding the chomp with 2P so he doesn't get crushed.
For years and never feel like it's optimized.
For some reason, if the Goomba enters this cage at like the wrong point, game will soft lock and you have to just like reset, which isn't that bad because the game auto saves, but you lose like 2 minutes. It's a really scary thing, especially in like these event runs.
We're not exactly sure why either. The leading theory
It's like one of those, you know, that's never happened before moments.
Because the poles that are there like can cause the Goomba to be in the activation zone for the star for a frame, but out the next frame. It's a bunch of complicated stuff. No one's really sure how that works. That's just our quote-unquote theory. But it's a good enough explanation for me. It's one of those things that if it happens, it happens. But hopefully it
I think next up is Hightail Falls Comet.
That's right.
Oh my god, I got it right.
Hightail Falls Comet is... So we did a Hightail Falls 1 earlier, but this time there's a huge meteor shower, and we're basically just trying to get through the level without getting hit by any of the meteors. There's a pretty cool momentum skip at the end.
One less that you have to travel over to. And now he's going to go for the Boulder Bowl 1 skip. Doing that big jump out, that is so much harder. I mean, I don't think it looks easy.
Oh, taking damage to that rock though.
So tough. Yeah.
Having to trudge through the mud to get to this replacement boulder. I think it was just a little bit off, which is unfortunate. Play right now in Flipsole Comet. This level, it looks easy. Oh, you're just in a square with a bunch of coins. Just grab them. No, there are so many super difficult tight cycles to make. That side flip she just did right there, that is so difficult to do. If you
Okay,
I'm listening to the commentary, and I'm just, it's it's really funny.
way, you'll know side flipping with a spin drill.
Wait, what's it saying? I can't really hear it that well.
We just popped over like a side flip that Claire did.
Whenever someone did it,
The side flip with the spin drill in Flipsole Comet.
right here, Jay-
Oh, the forbidden side flip.
This is very
Yeah.
the first one. However, we don't need the comet medal, which means we can actually skip a tad bit of the level at the end.
It's a very tight line on the left side again, trying to grab the pepper as late as we can.
Yeah,
So
it's
you can
very
keep the pepper
difficult.
for
Look out for
as
that.
long as we can in the next section.
Finishes up Rolladillo and Viper.
Same thing with this pepper right here, just trying to extend the pepper for as much as we can.
Spinning right before the ramp. Yeah, spinning right before the ramp, just to make sure that he doesn't go on.
Yeah, this is the big momentum skip at the end, so normally it wants you to go through all of these like ramps all around the side. We're just gonna jump from the edge here, and it's gonna push us all the way up, right to where the star is at the end.
You get the ramp, massive momentum.
Saves a load of time.
And backflipping it right to the star, super clean up Jay then. Right here, I have to take a moment. Everyone needs to look at Claire's stream.
Oh, this is where Claire does Exprelli Dram.
Corner of their screen. Because right here, Exprelli Dram.
Damn.
This is the
Darn,
she's doing
Exprelli
this
Dram.
for specifically this trick. Basically, what you do, there's this jump.
I think actually, no, I still think Chopper is more than Exprelli Dram.
Co-star here, who's gonna help us out. What we're gonna do is gonna backflip.
Oh yeah, I don't think the dram
I think
saves
it's only
that
like
much.
2 seconds.
Ground pound, take
I hate that we're calling it a dram. I hate it so much. It still makes me mad.
2 seconds. I feel like I would say the year. That's
It was Aspen who named it. I remember she was mad at me because like
that shot right there, if you Odyssey, if you
didn't-
dram strat is in Odyssey,
I didn't shout it out.
and throw him to grab something.
So it DM'd me like,
I forget who, but
hey,
they called it a dram
where's my shout out? I was like, I'm sorry, but I remembered this time Aspen, so you're welcome.
Claire and our good friend Exprelli, who's another
So now we're back in World 1 for the World 1 revisit. This time we're doing Gobble Guts. This is the exact same boss fight we did earlier. This time with really lenient timer. It doesn't change how difficult the boss fight is though. This is still a huge pain of a boss.
Check him out, twitch.tv/EXPRELII. So, huge shouts to Exprelli.
Same thing again. This time I messed up the second phase. I've gone into backup mode here. Just gonna try and make him burrow into the floor as soon as possible.
get squished. You need to go get the other one. And if that
Yeah, once your speed strats here go wrong, boom, casual.
Yeah.
You gotta go casual. Otherwise, you're gonna spend your life flailing around like a dead chicken or whatever the phrase is.
great job by Claire.
Chicken with its head cut off.
Showcase that trick. She's gonna be the only one actually going through super massive galaxy again. You got all 4 runners doing slightly different routes. You got Super Viper and Hardcore are gonna be doing basically the same one. Super Viper now going for another variation on just skipping over this bit. The camera really doesn't want to show you making that jump.
But yeah, at this point, one of the next levels coming up is Flip Swap Comet, and this is another one of the most like difficult styles, especially in terms of 2P, because there is so much multitasking that needs to go on during this one. And you can probably tell just by watching like how much the cursors are shaking. Like I'm already incredibly nervous by this point.
Yeah.
This is like a huge run killer.
In my opinion, might be my favorite star in this game. I love the star. I think it's a great showcase of what a lot of what SMG2 Tech has to offer. In terms of 2P, in terms of like the silly jumps, until the spin cancel long jumps.
Yeah, this one's a crazy watch, honestly.
Yeah. We're gonna let Jay focus for this one.
The little J to my left is really focused.
J2.
The main thing you'll see me doing is like spin cancel jumps and spin cancel long jumps. It allows us to spin to change the platforms, while also like getting our movement out.
One of the strats you can do in both Galaxy games is actually a spin long jump.
Yeah, we'll be doing that as well as grabbing the coins. We took damage there once, which is not too bad. So we're on a cycle, but we can still make the same cycle.
Him doing is like kind of right there. He spun and canceled the spin with a long jump.
Yeah, this section is the terrifying packs. There's a lot of chain chomps. If you shake at the wrong time, the chain chomps end up living. If you get hit, they can end up knocking you off, which is really not good because dying here was a lot of time.
Yeah, it's like a 2-minute time loss. Like, happy birthday, your run's dead. Right here, that was incredibly impressive.
It's still so crazy to watch back.
Yeah.
Being able to back up that coin without dying.
It looks trivial, but
Like, changing the camera, that's really impressive. You're too good at this game. Go outside.
Oh my god, so I want to play more Galaxy.
No, you don't.
this man is so smart.
Yeah, you're balancing with multiple controllers in your hand. You're balancing so many different things right there for, all the purposes.
Yeah, common theme with all these comets. They're usually really quick. They're usually some of the harder levels in the whole run. This is one of the exceptions. This is Yoshi Star Comet. It's one of the romp comets. Where you basically just go around clearing the level, a bunch of enemies. The main gimmick with this one is that it's all done during the Rainbow Star, which is really fast, but it's really hard to control. You need to kill all 30 of these without losing the speed. It takes ages to gain the speed back.
Yeah, you have to. It's basically a throwback to P speed in like Galaxy. Not Galaxy. Super Mario Bros. 3. And like
Now that I've gained my
SMW.
speed by here, I'm basically going to be trying to keep this the whole rest of the stage.
Incredibly easy strat to learn. You literally just go to that section, have the dash.
It's actually pretty difficult because there's a lot of like edges and ledges that you can get caught on.
What you do, like when
Yeah, it's really easy to get stuck. And the camera likes to mess with you too. If a spiny isn't on the screen as it dies, then its death doesn't count. And you have to like pan the camera around until where it died appears back on camera. It's really stupid.
I've had it happen so many times where like one of the spinies will die like off screen and you're frantically like looking around as if to be like, where is it? Why isn't it
Literal
dying?
mod check.
Again, I can't say there's too much of a difference between our runners. Jay definitely has the lead right now. He's playing at that world record route at world record caliber levels right now. So just, keep an eye on it.
I think this is when someone donated it, like, oh, yeah. Jay's on record pace.
Let's kick it over to Dad for a
It was also so funny. The donation reader was named, his name was Hey There, I'm Dad.
Laser trap.
And we had no idea what to call him. So, but we ended up just calling him Dad.
Out there to do the same.
Which felt really funny.
Special race to me with Viper being a friend for a long time now and hanging out with Jay.
Yes, this is one of the levels that I think this was one of the levels that went the most wrong.
Oh, yeah. You and Hardcore did the same thing here.
Great race so far.
Like this was one of the levels where I got kind of pot hammered, but it was also a really good backup. So this is a very hard level in itself. It's got 2P, a bunch of time movement, some timers with the berries, etc.
Go ahead.
Great. And we have
You can cut off some of the lines by here by grabbing these. But then at this section, I end up missing a coin, so I try turning the camera. I end up getting a side flip and falling. And at this point, I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I end up fluttering over here, grabbing a backup berry, and then the camera's changing, and I'm panicking. I don't remember if I missed a coin or not, and it was... I think I lost like 12 seconds. The fact that I didn't die, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was like 14 or something.
We'll play like the Goombas or something.
I think that was
It's
one
weird.
of the single biggest time losses in the run.
You wouldn't think it, but Sweet Mystery Comet is one of the levels that require the most focus. Like, if you're not, like, totally focused, you're gonna mess up. It takes 100% of your brain control.
Wait, I can actually check how much that lost there. Yeah, that was 15.
Right here, doing this little quick spin to get into the launch star, and we're gonna be grabbing Yoshi.
Yeah, so at this point, I'm actually behind until the last level.
So right here, grabbing Yoshi, breaking the egg a little early with 2P.
At least in the balance comparison.
Because this crab is gonna help us break this little block up here. This like gate is such a troll because sometimes you'll throw the crab right at it and it'll explode on nothing. But right here, this is one of the hardest flutters in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, these purple coins are usually like the levels I practice the most.
Oh, yeah, you had a meltdown here, too. Didn't
Yeah,
you?
I think I had a side flip moment.
Yeah, you hit
Yeah,
a fuzzy.
I think I got hit by the fuzzy.
How competitive is the record? Are people actively coming at you with same routes without losing that 12 seconds? The only one who's doing it right now is Hardcore, I believe. And it's kind of like off and on.
Yeah, Hardcore's been grinding a decent amount of any percent recently.
Yeah, shouts to Hardcore. The homie. But, yeah, he's kind of been grinding for it. He wants it back again.
That is such a difficult star just all around. All the
But, yeah.
pieces to it.
Yeah, so activity for Galaxy kind of comes in waves because of like the nature of the game and how long it is. Usually, like times of the year people are back in college or university, it slows
Yeah.
down a little bit. But then when people are on their breaks, there's a huge wave of activity. Everyone starts coming back and everything goes down a bunch.
Like, for Galaxy 2, there's only like 2 people grinding it right now are Rodeo and Hardcore. No one else in like the top decent amount, really. But like the category right now that's in is 120, the Luigi and Galaxy 1.
Yeah, again, anything.
Yeah,
That's
even
how
right
it's-
now.
Yeah, like over the break, over the holidays, it was Jay, Silo, Tibbs, Hex, Platicorn, Source.
There's a bunch of people
A
running.
lot of people were running 120. MKK. A lot of people. Holy.
Yeah, it just kind of comes in
Yeah.
waves. Like, you know,
Comes in
occasionally
waves.
there'll be like an in category that everyone's like attracted to for a bit. And, it
And
kinda
a lot of people
switches
are
to a
coming
different
about to
category.
come into. A lot of people are about to come into 122. We got like Nethna and Door and I think BP maybe, I don't know. A lot of people.
Yeah, one cool thing about Galaxy recently is where it's been picking up like a lot of traction. There's a lot of new runners studying. So hopefully in the next couple of months we'll have a more top level competition.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the future of Galaxy. Because right now at the top level, really the only one going. Besides, you're getting back into it, but the only one who's at the top right now, and it's kind of like number one, the top rated Galaxy player in the world, Tibbs. And Tibbs has been on the grind. Shouts to Tibbs. Tibbs won on Twitch. They are the homie, but they're also absolutely insane at Galaxy. Truly changed the metagame of the Switch, implementing 2P on the Switch for Galaxy
Well,
1.
that's another part of the run that went wrong here. So normally you'd want to flutter all the way to the top of the tower, but I had a slightly off angle, so I had to dismount.
Yeah,
Lose
this is a
that
good
much
backup.
time.
Going back on Yoshi.
Yeah, most of this World 4, it was lots of like small mistakes that were like, you know, because obviously the nerves. I was really nervous at this point. Like knowing that I was record pace almost 2 hours in.
Oh yeah, like waiting for
Yeah, and
Really
you're not
started
even
kicking
late game yet. You're still in the mid game.
3 days.
Yeah.
That skip exists.
I didn't even go past ITC.
Seeing these runners
Yeah, the run doesn't start until ITC 2.
these cycles here in the purple, the Flipsville purples right here is super.
Oh, is this where my internet starts dying?
How massive that difference is of the
Oh,
Oh,
no.
that kind of hard to listen to.
little side flips and just kicks off the wall.
Yeah, it was so funny when you and the note was cutting out because like I don't think you could hear us. Yeah, I don't think you could hear Spike even.
No, I could hear him.
I think we saw earlier, but we've just got the Shadow Marios with it, one of the fastest stars in the game, and I imagine one
But
of
sometimes it took him a while to realize I wasn't there.
records to tie.
It is, I think, approximately
So
I could hear
stupid.
it cutting a bit.
Yeah. Oh my god.
just on accident.
It's not
Such a shame that it
extending.
was happening during this, man. It's so upsetting.
It's still one day. But the worst part is that I can't even complain about it the most about internet issues because of OddMe.
Just spend like, I don't know, 10 minutes grinding the star, and you'll get it at some point.
Yeah, internet issues are crazy.
I
Can relate.
Very annoying. Yeah. Skynet.
This is Starshine Beach 2, and I really don't like Starshine Beach. We already just had a bit of a meltdown in Starshine 1.
I love Starshine
Starshine
Beach. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm getting an rolled one sec.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So, how's it going, everyone? Starshine Beach 2 is a great shine. Oh my god. Great star. And here's why. So you see him long jumping, and then he changes the camera. This camera deloads the clouds, so they're not on screen. So it's just gonna keep long jumping, just going the distance, it's going the speed. He goes into this piano, he's gonna chuck him up. He's gonna spin, get the most of the backwards momentum, hit the like 5-ish frame window to on that cloud to jump off into the tree, into the star. Insane stuff from Jay.
Alright, I'm back from getting eye rolled. It is 5 a.m. here, so I'm trying not to wake up my family.
Oh, I forgot that you never get IRL at 5 a.m. Nothing good could ever mean you're getting IRL at 5 a.m.
Yeah, you can imagine.
Yes, I can. As the doer of multiple 602s. Multiple very long streams that are probably very not good for my health.
But yeah, we make it work.
Her plan is here. Yeah, she's just gonna go for the regular skip. Okay, this is Gravity Gauntlet Comet.
Yeah, we've got 2 more levels left of World 4. So this one's Chompworks 2. This is where you get introduced to the Spring Mushroom, and the Spring Mushroom is in a void. The Spring Mushroom is so slow. Basically, at any point where we can avoid it, we do. So this beginning here, instead of taking the spring, there's a long jump to the very edge of this slope.
It's one of the 2 areas in either of the Galaxy games where you have to use a spring.
Not the complete end of the world. You respawn right back there. So she's gonna be going for it again.
The other, of course, what is it? Matter Splatter.
This is usually the method we do in the Comet, but what she's gonna do, launch up against the wall, shake against it, and then the
But we can avoid it, but it's slower.
she's gonna be zooming over here. She's gonna hold left right now.
Yeah, this section it's actually faster to use the spring, which is unfortunately this is
sad.
very not nice to control.
Yeah, it's not fun.
But if we control it well, we can make a really tight cycle here, which saves
I have to say, it's
time.
very well designed. It does its job really well.
Gravity planet right there. The gravity here is really wonky. A lot of really crazy things happen.
It's supposed to control like a spring, and it does control like a spring.
Actions are also really difficult. There's a incredibly precise, and I mean like, I don't even know how precise it is. That's how precise it is.
So,
Yeah.
what is the definitive worst Mario power up in all the Mario games?
Worst.
Ooh. I mean, for me, it's just the spring. I don't know about you, but I really don't like the spring.
No, but because the spring is objectively good power up. It does what it's designed to do.
Nullocks, we can go in between all of them.
Like it's designed to act like a spring. It does a good job of acting like a spring. The worst designed, I think.
I feel like most of them are pretty good in the Galaxy games.
I want to think the frog suit, but it does get like underwater. Maybe the mini mushroom.
Frog suit. That's a hot take.
Yeah, I'm not a frog suit fan. I like it underwater. I hate it on not underwater. I just don't like.
But it does what it's supposed to do.
Oh, Spike.
Well, a frog can traverse land better than that. I think it's not a well representation of how a frog can traverse land, in my opinion. Anyway, this is ITC.
Yeah, this is probably the hardest trick in the whole run. You have to do
That's
this
not true.
twice.
So bad it's harder.
I don't know. I'd say
Oh,
they're
I
the same.
hear myself popping off in the background. Let's go, me.
You can see myself popping up in the camera.
Yeah. This is like this is like gonna be us when we're both gonna be like 80 years old looking back on this.
Back in my day.
Back in our day.
This man has put so much time into this.
Yeah, so I hit that really difficult trick and then I miss one of the boulder shots.
I don't like the B outfit. The B outfit kind of goes hard for a few reasons. It's not great, but it's not the worst. Spring is not the worst.
But my goodness.
I need like I remember like older Mario power-ups.
But now we actually have probably, in my opinion, easily the hardest fight.
I don't know. I haven't
Honestly-
really played many other games.
3D World, the golden cat bell, or like the rose cat bell, the upgraded cat bell, quote unquote upgraded. I think it's awful not being able to. Yeah, you become invincible, but you can't dive. And I think diving is so important for going fast. And it's just like, kind of feels like a downgrade.
So we got one message in the chat that says they don't like the bee outfit.
Yeah, that's. No, you know what you're doing. The outfit goes hard. It's slow, but it goes hard.
Yeah, I like the bee outfit. It's just
It's silly goofy. It's silly goofy. Oh, this is the punch cancel. But basically, you have to wait until it's about to punch. How did that work? Yeah, I hear myself. I said that. I was like, that might be too early. Yeah.
it was like frame perfect. I think
That
actually
was-
the frame I was
yeah,
able to
but that-
cancel it.
That's one of those timing things where the closer you are to failing it, the more optimal it is. It's kind of like a meter. No, it's kind of like the Price is Right, actually. You can't go
How
above.
close can you get?
Yeah, how close can you get? But you can't go over, otherwise you lose your run. Instead of, losing money, you lose 20 seconds.
I got another take in the chair. They don't like the boosh room. Now that I don't know. I think boosh room.
Nah, Boost Room goes hard. Boost Room goes hard. I love the Boost Room. Boost Boneyard.
I like it.
Boost
I
Boneyard
like it
goes
in
hard.
Boost Boneyard, but
No,
not
then you
in-
like it. It's the same
no, then
thing.
you have it in like Sand Spiral. It feels
No,
so
Sand Spiral
underwhelming.
goes hard. I love the Boo and Spin Spiral. It's so stupid to be there. I love it. Metal Cat would be nice if it lasted longer. It's still really good for what it is supposed to do.
Oh, how can we judge the power
Mega
of these games? They're
Mushroom?
all
I
so
love
good.
the Mega Mushroom. Mega Mushroom goes hard, especially in Mario Kart. That is good item. If we count Mario Kart, the Thundercloud is objectively the worst in any game.
Can we call
It's
that a
awful.
power up though?
It's an item. It's an item. It's the worst item. And it's supposed to be like a power up. Items are power ups. It is not the worst power up. There's no shot it's less annoying. Or there's no shot you think it's more annoying than Spring.
So saying an easier
Right?
method is like saying like that breathing is required for life.
Blooper now. Blooper,
Getting onto this
it's bad, but it's not Thundercloud bad.
round slope, spinning to get the wall jump.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be going on this
Thundercloud,
slow,
I agree.
precise seam that if you go too far back, you fall. If you go too close to the castle, you actually soft lock and you like freeze in the air. But he gets it first try. Nice job. That's actually really cool. We got to see all methods of that skip.
But yeah, at this point of the run, looking at the splits,
So that's really
I was
cool.
20 seconds behind.
You can see it in your eyes. You can see it in your face. You're like, oh my. Your man's just thinking.
So at this point, I was like, okay, it's possible, but I need like one of my best ever late games. And getting good late games in Galaxy 2, Ooh, yeah, not really.
Sitting just a bit over $66,000 that we need to
Pretty
raise for.
rarely
Still a lot of
happens.
work to do. This particular run we're watching right now, 3-hour, 10-minute estimate. We're about 3 hours and 10 minutes away from that Resident Evil Village.
Yeah, we are
Shadow
an
Run.
hour away from the end here.
This is your speed
We're so
We've got
close, it's so far.
Probably some of the most difficult levels coming up.
We have definitely the most difficult levels up.
We've got some donations just for that. $25 from a Pose Crow that said,
And I'm gonna be right back.
Sure we get more HDQ. Let's go. And then $50 from one true Gerbot that says, loving this Mario race with excellent gameplay and commentary.
Yeah, this is
Glad I could
Space
donate
Storm
during
1,
this
and
run
this is
and contribute to a
probably, this
bonus
section of the
video.
beginning is probably the
Let's
highest
go.
part of the whole stage. So we have this tube section with a bunch of cycles, a bunch of lasers, and we're gonna try and make it through while staying on the same cycle. I think I barely missed the most optimal one here. Yeah, I got a fake wall jump, so we made like the second fast, which is still pretty good. It looks like a second. And I did the section with the bomb. I gotta lower the bomb over to the cage.
Just a lot of different cycles you gotta catch there. Yep.
Just a pretty simple section. Just make sure the bomb doesn't die. Then instead of taking the path back, we can just jump backwards. And now this brings us to the ending part with the pole stars. Now pole stars in Galaxy are actually pretty difficult to optimize because if you pull them at a certain distance away for a certain amount of time, you can get really like fast amounts of speed. If you hold them for too long, you end up losing all the speed, and sometimes you can get hit by these lasers. You're basically trying to get through this as fast as possible without triggering any of the shooters.
That's amazing, that movement with those pole stars there.
Very nicely done.
Yeah, it's actually,
One of the trickier stars.
I don't know, it's probably one of the harder things to optimize in the Galaxy games. Like, we'll see it later in Melty Monster as well.
The cycles are just never going to be where you need them to be.
Especially trying to dodge stuff.
Some of the electricity gates and whatnot. Looking like our players, by and large, finishing up.
I think it's objectively harder in Galaxy 2 than Galaxy 1. I think there's a difference in mechanics somewhere.
And then your routing can kind of go in any direction you want here in World 5, beating that
Yeah,
first
pole stars are really
access
cool.
to
They're just
all of the other levels
a
right
bit of
now.
a pain sometimes.
Right here, we're seeing Claire do her revisit, starting with Gobblegut refight.
Yeah, this next level, Space Storm 2, is another pretty short level. There's some pole stars at the beginning, but this main part of the level is that one by the one that's pushing really fast. Like, that's a cycle that we're gonna try and aim for. So we're gonna do a little bit of a camera manip before
Very tricky level.
we enter the launch star. So we're gonna use the pole stars to get straight in. You do camera manip to look away. Now we should be on cycle. This was actually one of the levels going into the run that I was the most nervous for. I remember being in a call with a friend that was practicing this, and it was going wrong for like half an hour, and I just could not do this level. It's like
This
the
star
biggest mental block ever.
is one of those, if it goes wrong, it goes so wrong. It's so hard to optimize.
Yeah, that was a huge relief trying to pass this one.
Consistent saying, having it optimized. It's incredibly difficult, but it's so satisfying to watch.
Because all these cycles are so quick. It's so
Yeah,
fast.
you need to get to the top of the top man's tower to find out who asked, is the joke.
I said this at the beginning of the run, and I'm gonna continue to say it until the day I die.
But anyway,
Some more power up takes from the chat.
As well, but I'm personally biased to Galaxy 2. That's a different discussion.
without fast, very hard to control without fast fly.
Most underrated
You think fast fly is easier to control than a regular fly?
and
I love the red star so much more than the wing cap. I really don't like the. I don't know.
Well,
If
you
it's
just don't
my
like 64.
bias.
Yeah, you just don't like
My
64.
64 bias is showing.
I don't know why. Remember when we both said we were getting 139?
and just some stuff in their incredibly amazing lives.
Okay,
Love
rocks.
them all to death. Make sure you're all
Oh,
checking
we
them
did
out.
say that though.
Also, I'd be remiss not to mention that once again, my
Anyway,
commentator here, my co-commentator
this is
here,
Shiva Burn
I
S.
can do it all. There's
This is another one of the chip mini games. This time he wants us to get 600 points instead of 500. Significantly harder. Actually, I
Should we get
remember people
1,000?
popping off.
Hardcore gaming, able to
Popping off on my score on this one.
Yeah, that, like you said, Rox, that pole star optimization is.
I want to hear my reaction after you get 1,000.
Your reaction's so funny.
Single jump right there. And I love them going as soon
Yeah, with
as they
2P here, you can clear out a lot of these.
grab
You can get some pretty high scores. I think my best is like 1,250 or something.
before being able to.
Wow.
Jay here,
I think my best is like
the
7. No, I've gotten 8 with Luigi. It's faster with Luigi skating.
Yeah, it doesn't actually change anything based on your score, as long as you get over 600.
Yeah.
So take your guesses. As always, I'm going to.
It's fun to see what kind of scores you can get in the run.
Which is actually insane. But you saw him do some cool moves. You actually get into the pipe. Usually, what you have to do is like take the super slow, like long platform.
I can't wait to hear your reaction here.
Yeah, I can't.
So we can just use the cloud power up and just yeet ourselves all the way over. He got
You got 1,000?
1,000 is world record. I was like, I think he put the gamer jorts on. He wanted to show it here. So it's cool the sort of stuff you can do right there with 2-player. Again, not saving any time.
It's so awesome to listen back to.
Let's focus on hard.
It's always fun.
Right now, making his climb up. Again, they want you to like hit a switch and pause time and whatnot. Instead, he's going to get launched up right here. Ooh, the good recovery. Ooh, now into the triple jump.
Yeah, we're sitting at a chill 49 stars right now out of 70. As soon as we get 70, we can go right into Bowser's Galaxy Generator. And that'll be the end of that. Before that, we've got Shiverburn 1. This is probably one of the biggest run killers of the whole run. So there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong here. So notice that we're doing this after the secret.
This is my least favorite level in the run.
Same, honestly. So we do this level second after the secret, lets us skip the cutscene, which gives us better cycles for this next section that we're about to drop into. Instead of taking the platform, we're going to be going backwards. And you might be thinking, where am I going?
Omega Dance.
I'm going to be dropping down right into this next lowest section.
We have to be really careful here. Because we don't need the cloud power, but it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, it makes
But
this
anyway,
next
after this
section a lot
launch
better.
start, what it's going to be doing is hitting up on the D-pad, then down on the D-pad instantly. And that is a camera cancel, and it skips the landing animation you get. And it saves time over every launch star, excuse me. Saves time over every launch star. So it adds up a ton over time.
Yeah, honestly, just doing camera cancels alone just save like minutes throughout the run. Even though it's like 0.5 per time, there's just that many launch stars.
I think me alone, just telling people in chats, hey, you need a camera cancel. I think I've saved at least an hour of people just saving time just now doing camera cancels because of me.
This is the hard shot of the boss fight, so he spits out a bunch of coconuts here. You want to hit one as it's coming out. And then you should be able to get another one. That was really close. Oh god, that was scary to watch back. Yeah, you can get 2 coconuts in that cycle there. If you miss one,
Again, the Giga
I guess
Chad
that's
strat.
another attack cycle.
We called it the Giga Chad strat. I don't know why. And Stick called it that once. Shows a Stick.
I've always called it RNG strat because, you know, you cope.
Yeah, because, yeah. No. It's called the Giga Chad strat. And I will forever stand by that.
Yeah, that is another one of the hardest levels in the whole run down. At this point, I'm basically just starting to feel like more and more confident after every split. Like, oh my god, this could actually happen.
But inside, like, so on the surface, you look calm and ready. But deep down, I forget the words. I messed up the joke.
I was waiting
No.
for the reference.
I messed up the joke.
I don't know. I feel like having a giant like car with wheels that can shoot fire at you is pretty unfair. I feel like that's fair.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I'm so sad. Hardcore would have PB'd in GDQ as well if he didn't die in Boomin.
Yeah, all the other runners in this race had like really good runs. Like Hardcore got a sub 3, Viper just barely missed sub 3. Claire also had a really good run.
Yeah.
This was a very good race. Like,
It was an
all of us.
incredible race. It really was. Hardcore got heavily overshadowed by obviously by record. Hardcore also played out of his mind there. He was considered washed by a lot of people, but no, he chilled so hard that he got good again.
Let's talk about Boomin 1 that Jay's doing right now.
Oh, Boomin, what do you think Boomin's secret? Because
This is Boom Moon 1 skip now, so we activated the next gravity field. I'm going to be long jumping and spinning and barely getting into the second gravity field. And you'll notice we actually missed the common metal here. That's fine, so you can grab that in one of the later levels.
Go all the way back, so you get that gravity from the little snake block things. Long jump, do a gravity change.
This last section is actually pretty satisfying to do with the 5 silver stars. So once we hit this button, it's going to unleash the house.
It would be absolutely
And once the house is unleashed,
The house? Unleash the house?
is it the house? I don't know what it is.
It's like a pop-up
house,
book. It's like a pop-up book.
but it looks like a house though.
But okay, why? First off, why would you say unleashed? Why was that
It's been
the?
unleashed. I don't know. It got taken off the
Why was
leash.
that the verb you used? And second off, that is not a house. That's like a graveyard.
found so many strats, just the boom in one skip that you just
Oh wait,
pretty
yeah,
sure that's a
now that I look
graveyard.
at it, now that I look at it,
also found what the called perfect
it has windows. It could definitely work as a house.
That's not a window. That is tomb writing, scripture. I don't know what it's called.
Where it is today, we wouldn't be anywhere close to where we are without him.
Absolutely. One, I always kind of viewed him as the
Unleash your chat messages in Jay's house. Thank you, Richard.
It felt like close to 10 minutes over the next closest people. It took a while. He was so far ahead of his time in this game. Found so many things, still was finding.
Dude, I miss Nemi.
And now we
Nemi.
So sad.
have really caught up and pushed this game even further.
Oh, for sure. Another person I have to shout out in.
Maybe it's Petaluigi's mansion. Exactly. A mansion is like basically a house, right? It could definitely function as a house.
It is a house. That is what a mansion is. It's just a giant, fancy, big house.
I think 4 years straight before Claire was the first one to beat him. But
This Upside Dizzy one, and this is another. It's like one of those levels you don't expect to be really difficult, but this cycle
Oh
in
my
the next
God.
section.
Yeah, in the 2D section. Or not the 2D section, the pipe section.
do some incredible stuff to whatever he puts his mind to it.
So I actually got hit by that Goomba there. As you can tell by my reaction, that is something that never happens. I was so
That's
confused
just
when that happened.
that's just a skill to a massive degree. I have to say, I'm sorry.
But, not too big a time loss.
And then
This
yeah, but
cycle
this cycle sucks.
Actually incredibly difficult.
This is probably one of the hardest things to do in the whole run. I think I got
Easily.
scarily close to getting it.
Anyone who's played Battle Belt will know that those flippy floppy dudes
Yeah, I literally failed on the last part. I was so close.
come across in your ways.
I have to wait an extra cycle, which is like 2.
Little tiny bit of slow down.
God, my facial expressions are getting more
Little
extreme with
tiny
every
bit of
level.
slow downage. Oh my.
Claire finishes up
Oh my.
Sure and one, and hardcore nails boom in one skip.
Yeah, just a lot of gaming going on all over your screen right now, gamers. If you are loving this, make sure you throw down and donate, supporting the Prevent Cancer Foundation, getting that number for HDQ 2023 higher and higher. See as far as we can go as these runners are going even further beyond their paces are.
I just saw a message. I can't help but notice the lack of drawing over the game. Alright, this next level, just you
I
wait.
completely forgot. Remember we said we weren't gonna forget? We
Alright,
hella forgot.
just you wait. I've got this. Alright, so this is Upside Dizzy S. Just like Right Side Down S, this is another box minigame.
You get so many different breaks between
And we're gonna throw some fireballs. First of all, we're gonna go up here, up the boxes. As you can tell by the red arrow.
Like you said, this game, it's punishing.
So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go left, and then I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna
So you
move
messed this one
over,
up, right?
and I'm gonna go up. Nah, I think I got this one pretty good. So this is my
Someone
run.
else is one up pretty bad.
So if you make you think like, oh, all this is, we're making a big deal out of like a handful of seconds all over the place. They all matter. Every single one of them.
Yeah, so these are the arrows.
seconds with the new with
I'm gonna finish off.
Hold on, I need
One
to
up
see the
there.
stream. I need to pull up the stream.
So we got a 9 there. So usually I got a 10. So like around a 9 and 10 is like really good.
Super Mario Odyssey runner has a 58. Moved on to G2 and pushed this game way further.
Could you use the drawing to explain the camera cancels for us?
True. That's actually okay. I could do that. I could do that.
Oh,
Alright,
how much
Roxy, we've got a
delay?
co-op on this one. Where's the next camera
boy.
cancel?
Now grinding to last.
When's the next camera cancel? When's the next time you blink?
Pick up the controller. Be ready to see
I mean, blinking is like basically a camera cancel if you think about it.
That was what I was saying.
Listen, I'm the master joke explainer.
You're not, actually. Believe it or not, I don't think you are.
This is such a hard room to optimize because obviously.
Alright, so next we've got Boom Moon, which I don't actually think there's any camera cancels here.
No, because one of them's frame perfect, and the other one, No,
Okay.
there's not.
We can't explain any camera cancels here.
Oh my god. Or maybe there's not that many camera cancels. There's less than I thought. Want to hear a funny story?
And you're just holding a direction.
Go on,
Too bad, I'm
Rox.
gonna tell it anyway.
I don't know if anyone knows why it happens.
But
If you don't
in like 2016, I didn't want to run the game. I got scared away from running the game due to the only reason being camera cancels.
Really?
Like so tedious. And I thought I was gonna hate them so much. But then I started doing them, and I was like, oh, this is like the most normal thing I've ever done in my life. Like, it's so natural feeling just doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I do it in games that are not Galaxy. I do it in Kirby. I try to camera cancel it in Kirby, which is a 2D game, and also a Kirby game.
This is Boom Moon's secret. Now in this next section, we're gonna go past this launch tab. Instead of going, the normal way, we're gonna go left, skipping the whole of the snake route, just going straight to the start. We can like barely make that. It's actually a pretty.
I remember the
Long
602. I was thinking I had greens in my mind,
Oh
and
no.
I just did the casual route. I thought it was fucking greens.
4 kilometers if you're from a different country. Whatever works for you, whatever unit you use. But yeah, you don't want to miss that start. Otherwise, you're losing approximately a year and a half.
Love that little triple jump strat there at the end of right side down.
Upside dizzy.
Or was it? Which one's?
Yeah, now we've got our next comet in World. I think this is the only comet we do in World 5 actually. This is Shiverburn's Sea. Now, this is another one of the romp comets, so this is where 2P comes in handy a lot. But this time we're going to be skating
Oh yeah.
with the Rainbow Star, and we've also got a lot of
I don't
Goombas
know
to kill.
if you know this or not. But I thought it was faster. I remember someone telling me somewhere that it's faster to run instead of skate. Running with the star itself is faster than skating.
Yeah, but if you run though, then you can use the 2P,
Why not?
because you got to shake.
Well, you can still do it.
Can you?
Yeah.
But when you shake that, you start skating.
Oh, you do need to show. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a very clean level when it's done well.
Just by like 2P to,
A lot of 2P stuff you got to do there though.
obviously your cursor's gonna come across a bunch of starbits. When that happens, they get collected into your inventory. And as we said earlier, we want to shoot out all the starbits. We don't need any because we have the bank tip. And starbits cause text boxes cause time loss. And obviously not what we're going for here. So being able to shoot out all of the starbits there is actually incredibly difficult to do. And right now, talking about incredible difficult things, hardcore just took a death, unfortunately. That's not what I was gonna say, but that's a very important thing to say right
I
there.
feel I could smell the mid-sentence transition there for the commentary.
Yeah, this is the last level now of World 5. We're getting very late into the run. The nerves are very high.
That's around
And this is Boom Bunker. I've actually killed, I think, 3 record pace runs here leading up to this run. So before GDQ, I was preparing on stream basically every day, like just doing runs after runs after runs. I think the week leading up to GDQ, I think I killed 6 record pace runs in the 1 week leading up to it, and the whole time on stream, which I would always be joking like, no, you're just killing all the runs on purpose so you can get record at GDQ. That was like the in-joke of the week.
No, this is where I start dying. Oh, no.
Oh, that's where the internet issues start happening. Listen, we're actually gonna fill in your commentary blank spaces.
It just hurts me. It just pains me.
I felt so bad. It's like I could hear
Now-
everything happening.
Now is your time for your redemption arc, though.
Yeah. No, it was really sad because I had so many chances, and then my internet restored itself. Like, I got stabilized at, like, right at the end. You're in the cloud section of GGen. But then the person producing was like, no, we're too close to the end. We'd set up for the next run. And I was like, no. I'm so
So
sad.
unfortunate.
It was the saddest moment probably in my life.
I always thought it was gonna be me with the internet issues.
I was hoping it wasn't gonna be me. I didn't care who it was, as long as it wasn't me. Or as, did you know, like the GDQ servers, that would be pretty bad too.
Yeah, one thing you'll notice about this boss fight that I'm doing right now, you'll notice that I'm holding a coin with 2p. So in this run, when you collect stab bits and coins, they give you extra text boxes at the end of each stage. So in levels like this, where there's like forced coins that you're forced to get, like this one was like basically where the launch star spawns, you can hold it with 2p the entire time, and it avoids, you know, picking up the coin and grabbing the extra text box. It saves a second each time you skip coins or stab. It's a lot of time, especially when you consider there's 70 stars. If you can skip coins in all of them, that's over a minute. It's a very small but important optimization.
That's exactly what Spike just said. No, not the -1 rocks on Mega Dance. Stop.
No, this way Rugs cuts out.
No.
I think people were also posting that in the GDQ chat when it happened.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it, because I'm sad.
Poor Rugs.
I was supposed to be there to celebrate the record. Xfinity took that away from me. Xfinity should have donated a lot just for that alone. Comcast, really bad. I'm so glad Hardcore came back. I missed him.
Yeah, we need more Galaxy runners. These games are so cool.
They're so cool.
So I know it puts a lot of people off because of how long they are. They're very long runs. Like even just any percent of this game is 3 hours at a top level.
Yeah. And top level, it spans a long way. I would say people would consider me a top level, and I'm a 312. That's 20 minutes off record. Granted, no, I hate saying that. My sub's a 301. Another person I want to shout out is Bliplo. Bliplow's also been on the ground, got a 302.
Yeah, a lot of people pushing close to sub 3 now.
Doing a lot of IL stuff recently.
It's another clean Polestar section. Those are really hard to optimize. It's always nice seeing those go well.
Always maximizing that distance away, you can grab the next Polestar and get a lot of momentum to start flinging you away.
Yeah, so we're stacking into really scary levels, like basically all of World 6. And we've got 3 multi-monster stages that are all like huge run killers. Clockwork Ruins, which is also a huge run killer.
Oh, I remember this was so sad for Claire.
Oh yeah, she got fenced.
No, yeah, she got fenced, but also, I was not even thinking about that. She, it must have been 1.
Oh
She
yeah,
got
she died like the
gravitied.
end.
Yeah, she got gravitied.
Yeah.
And like, you obviously don't grab a checkpoint for a million years in that level, optimally. So it's a
Yeah,
huge
this ending planet section right here probably has some of the worst functioning gravity in the whole game, so I take this really slowly.
I think she was on sub 3 pace into World 6, which would have been insane. Claire doesn't have sub 3, she has a 3:10. But she's not even gonna go for it again.
3 PB.
She's doing I don't know what she's doing really. She's prepping for a co-op 1545. So she's like practicing banjo and stuff. But she's also been learning Ocarina of Time 100% SRM, which is a sick category.
That's one set of games I know like nothing about.
I know you know nothing about them. It's really funny. You know negative stuff.
but still, it's just like, oh man.
Galaxy one trick forever, pretty much.
And our last one entering the boss fight.
And actually, I believe
Still very tight.
this.
Yeah, next up we've got Melty Monster 2. Now this is one of the ones where like one of the smallest like arrows in your analog stick, you just die immediately. So it's basically like a huge rolling lane you do with a boulder. There's a couple of gaps, a couple of jump spin, then right at the end you've got a zigzag skip which skips like 2 of the fences. And the fences are really scary. Alex, I don't know what actually caused it. I don't know if you know, Rox, but like
I have
the
no
fences
idea.
just like randomly out of nowhere. Sometimes you'll hit a fence and it'll just throw you up in the air in a random direction and you'll die. And it's like, it makes no sense.
It doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too difficult. But when you get down into the nitty gritty of it all,
The Melty Monster song goes so hard too.
so many mini optimizations.
Oh, the soundtrack in these games is just awesome. That's
They're
probably something
so
I'll,
good.
Just due to the
like,
acceleration.
no matter how much time I put into these games, the soundtrack will always go so hard.
Yeah, I feel like the soundtrack, even from a speedrunning like point of view, is so important for how good of a speed game it is. Because imagine you're hearing the most annoying song in the world in a run you're resetting over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Fence to fence. and
Like,
bounce
even
back.
when we spend hours in Sky Station, we still get to hear the soundtrack.
That is
Yeah.
incredibly precise because the elevation's flat and you're a rock.
It's
And rocks-
amazing you can go over that gap. Incredible.
I don't know how it works. I don't know why it works. I'm just glad it does because those fences.
Oh, what makes you think of Monkey Ball? Honestly, it does play a lot like a Monkey Ball level, it feels like. Just a bit, you know, with all the tilting.
Multiple times, there's multiple clips.
Well, you're the one getting tilted usually.
Just for no reason.
I love Monkey Ball. I need to play more Monkey Ball.
Especially this far into a run if you're on good
So Rox briefly mentioned this earlier, but the ramp skips, that's basically that, but there's like 7 of them in a row. So I'm doing like really precise jumps, like combined with spins off of these ramps. Like normally there'd be like a small animation every time you go onto the ramp, but most of them we're gonna skip. So this one, we're gonna skip this, gonna ride that one, go right back into the boulder, we're gonna skip this one, skipping all the animations. A lot of these jumps are semi-blind. There's also some of these blue platform cycles we gotta worry about, so we slow down slightly on this one before we go. Skip that platform as well. And we should just barely have enough for 5,000.
Oh my god, I need to stop hitting this tab. I keep opening the wrong tab and blinding myself.
Made it look like absolute piece of cake.
Yeah, runners optimizing this game, taking a star that normally should, for all intents and purposes, be a break.
Favorite soundtrack from SMG? I mean, like just in general, like both games.
Now say no, we're gonna
I really like Melty Molten from Galaxy 1.
incredible stuff right there by Jay.
Probably my favorite. Or maybe Blade Bass. I like the Blade Bass underwater music.
And you can do bowling 2 like frames at a time.
You would like that.
Exactly. Like a
I feel like,
What's it supposed to be?
strike.
no, I feel like that would be the answer you get if you run a BuzzFeed quiz. That was the answer that you would get. I think,
Exactly. The bowling metagame.
I don't know, I feel like you like that song. My favorite, either Puzzle Plank, Melty,
But right here, we have,
Monster,
Hungry Luma,
the Luma from SMG1.
the Flash Black Luma.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so many good ones you can
There's
point
so
out.
many good
There's
ones.
so many good ones.
Because the alternate path of World 6.
Even the dopey, that's like,
The
So
rolling
good.
ball levels.
yeah, I thought the rolling ball levels.
It's Battle Belt.
Galaxy Reactor, yeah, the Galaxy levels. Fleet Glide, oh, Fleet Glide.
Enemy Rush
Space Chunk,
takes a very long time. And it's
Beach Bowl, the world's catchiest song. I hate it so much.
go down this bottom path, which has also like really slow levels. Just to avoid
I love the Honey Hive theme and Good Egg and the third point theme. So many
He's
good
naming
songs.
every level.
I'm talking. I am listing.
Bro is chatting.
You gotta go down one of these 2 galaxies. Oh no.
Claire taking it at the very end of Melty Monster.
Yeah, this next level coming up is Flash Blacks. The whole gimmick of this one. And every couple of seconds, it'll fade to black. But,
I've
we
seen the
played this
clip
level
of me.
hundreds of times. We know what to go.
Have you seen the clip of me where Yoshi started schmoovin?
I think so. Yeah, I think I know what clip you're on about.
Yeah. Do you know what causes that?
No.
Find out. It's yeah, that was a moment.
Off of the momentum of the Pumpkin Goomba, Yoshi going right here into the Silver Star segment.
Better question, which song is actually bad in Galaxy? Oh, you can't ask a question like that. There's no bad songs. Or is there? So the thing.
Which can be really tricky, and obviously the gimmick of
I don't know. I don't think there's any levels I'd listen to and be like, nah, that's bad.
So you can't,
Chomp works.
great job on Jay's part there.
No, but it fits the theme of the level though so well.
The first one's the hardest one. I believe the first one's I think it's a 3-frame jump. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. But I know the first one's the hardest one for sure. So once you get past the hardest one, that's the first one that's a sign of relief. But you still gotta clutch it out.
What's a bad song, Galaxy?
I really just don't think I could name one, honestly.
I don't think I can either.
Easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. But he made it look easy.
You love how the whole Galaxy 1 soundtrack is orchestrated. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a video out on YouTube that shows like the orchestra playing the Gusty Garden soundtrack, and it doesn't feel real like when you're watching it. Like it doesn't feel like, I don't know. It sounds exactly like the game.
What does it feel like then?
I don't know. It's hard to explain. You have to watch it to understand.
No, I can't be.
It's hard to explain.
Now we got Jay going into Slimy Spring. Again, like what I was saying earlier,
Slimy Spring's like the calm before the storm.
I was gonna say the exact same phrase. You stole it. You stole it on my brain.
I'm just better than you. I'm sorry. I'm just better at this. Yeah.
Commentary speedrun.
Come to speedrun. I win. So I need something over you. I may have gotten you partner in sub 9, but
yeah, as Rock
because when you hear
said,
the
this is
story of how I got Jay sub 9, I'm joking.
I'm gonna hit all of Rox's stories.
Story time with Roman DeMarcus.
This level is kind of like the collect yourself. You get like 2-minute chill, just swimming level. There's not really much to optimize in this other than the ending section. There's a section you can do without grabbing any coins, which saves like a second. It's actually pretty tight. But other than that, this is basically just like a mental preparation for the gauntlet of levels coming up.
I'm waiting for like Slimy Spring skip where there's like no downtime in the end.
Slimy Spring skip would be so goofy.
It would be so funny.
At this point, would you be feeling the pressure of getting world record or not quite yet?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think during this run I was feeling it after I left World 3, which is like just over an hour in.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, that's, I think you mentioned earlier that like early run, there's like a run killer that like you don't get past except for like 13% of the time you said your runs get
That was
past it?
world 1.
Yeah, that was the first
Yeah.
world. Let me see what the stats are for World 5. Let's have a look.
That was cool. Thank you, Hardcore. I appreciate that. And then down to Jay as he pops out, he eats, he throws the shell. You only get that one shell.
Okay, so a total of 6% of my runs make it to World 6.
Anyways,
Jesus.
That is
Oh, like runs on pace or just runs in general?
just runs in general.
Because like imagine it's like how many you have. Just how many you have.
love y'all so much.
Like die past a certain point.
All the donations.
Yeah.
Great cause here today. And all throughout the week.
Absolutely.
I completely forgot what I was gonna say. It's late for me. Okay.
Once again, unfortunately.
Wait. What time is it for you? Like 6?
Some internet issues, unfortunately.
It is
It's-
6 a.m.
Yeah. Good morning, Joe. Guys, we should have stopped by Jay's stream today in approximately 8 hours. We're doing Galaxy 1 242.
I'm not sure if that was a backup or it was just what he did right there.
If I wake up in
It was
time.
kinda cool, utilizing some creativity right there. Now kicking off the wall after getting that comment.
Yeah, Clockwork Ruins now is another pretty 2P heavy level. So all these 3 cogs are on like pretty big cycles. And you can use 2P to basically grab a lot of the coins that you normally wouldn't be able to get in a certain cycle. So you get these 2 at the beginning by the fire. And we're gonna be riding this first one.
Click clock. Something. I forget what it's called. It's one of the stars in the game. It's one of the galaxies.
Also gotta be careful to dodge these enemies. Sometimes they have like aimbot and you just can't avoid them, but it is terrifying. So I
They are-
almost died here to this one.
Yeah, the Oxyms are horrendifying. Horrifying.
That's like the 4th word you've made up.
Listen,
You can have a
Go
new
what I
dictionary
do.
by next week.
Go what I do.
You need 30 coins for this Luma, just barely get enough. It takes the secret parts. We never actually end up doing the actual main star here for Clockwork, we just do the secret. The main star is incredibly slow.
Off the wall and snag a star, just so we can get past this slower stage and get to Super Mario 64. I bet y'all didn't know Super Mario 64 was in the
The game wants us to go around and dodge all these hammers, but they definitely did not figure out that we could just wall jump off the left here and just get straight up to the start and just sleep.
I feel like that's one of those
So
where
much
like they
easier.
knew, but they let it slide because it's so like it's kind
They
of silly
must
goofy,
have.
you know? It's kind of.
And it makes the section so fast.
I feel like it's something. I feel like something like Gobblegut, like the the wall. I feel like that's something that they would have missed.
Yeah. Yeah, almost all of the comets have spawned in there. You can basically see all the ones we're gonna go clean up for the end.
We got Claire breaking off the route just a little bit, going over and taking care of her. Is it throwback ruins?
And now you'll be taking a trip into Womps,
This is where
everyone's
Spike-
favorite reset point.
Clockwork Ruins?
Clockwork Ruins, there it is. Rox is back.
I'm back to save the
Ready
day.
to cover for
Yeah.
my inefficiencies of knowing.
Oh, this is where Spike forgot where the name of Clockwork Ruins
Chip did get me. So,
and how the chip got me.
The chip got rocks, no.
No.
I like how you bowled for him.
Yeah, it's Ocna might be awake. That's what it is.
And here we are, Chad.
Yeah, I think at this
That's
point your
true.
internet was like basically completely out, right?
Yeah, Tibbs was on deck to start commentating. I kind of feel bad for Tibbs.
Yeah, they were saying that after the run, I think they were like a couple minutes away from just coming in because you were gone for so long.
I wasn't even gone for long. I kept coming back in and out and in and out, and then my internet stabled so close to the end. You were in G-Dad. I was so close. I wanted to pop off about your, winning, about your record. Can you imagine that moment? That's something we would look back on when we're 80. That moment. I'm telling you, that would have been such content.
Claire gonna be going for her triple jump right here. Actually setting up for a back
We would have both made it
run.
just based on that clip alone.
Yeah, just like earlier in the boom bunker fight, 2P Luma's gonna be holding onto this coin, so normally in 1P you wouldn't be able to avoid this coin. You can grab it just before heading into the boss fight and just hold it for the whole
Well, there
rest
is
of
a
the
way to
level.
avoid it. You know how?
As we're taking out the swamp.
You can avoid it 1P?
$25
Oh,
Yeah.
one clip.
Watching and doing the GDQ event since 2012, but this last year was the very first time our family was affected by multiple cancer.
Yeah, like we were
Seems-
saying earlier, you need to have to. You don't want coins or star bets at the end of levels because more text box, more time lost.
Making AGDQ 2023 happen less than 3. And thank you to PCF once more for all the work that they do.
Yeah, let's get in one or two more as we are finishing up covering each other's steps. Again, we're in the home stretch, chat, looking for that last about 10 stars for each of our players.
Yeah, I wonder what
to
my
make their
best
way
possible
down to
time was at
St.
this
Christopher.
point. I can
And
probably
added
check
the
because it was really close.
Yeah, I
Yep, home stretch.
think it was like
The train is going to be coming into the station soon on this.
Because it was within like seconds of being possible.
yeah.
Like
I
literally
remember
every
like completely
split.
counting you out at like I want to say somewhere in the World 4 revisit.
Okay, so my best possible time at this point was 2:54:37.
Let's hear it, chat. want to see. Big fan of the
And
Resident
there's
Evil
still
3
20 minutes left.
maximum Resident Evil tonight. Let's keep it going, keep it going.
Keep it going, keep it going.
Very awkward, easy to do little spin bonks.
It's like I would basically need to play like, you know, a couple of seconds off my best for each segment for the rest of it. And that is not an easy thing to do, especially with some of the strats coming up. I still have to do another whole ITC.
Then add the nerves.
Oh, the nerves are through the roof. I honestly don't know how. I think
Plot
one of the main
armor.
things that kept me
Plot
going
needs plot armor.
the plot armor. Like, listening to the commentary. Like, I think if I was sat there in silence playing, I would have like got in my own head.
Oh, so you're telling me I got you the record at GDQ 2? That's another thing I can take responsibility for. So you're welcome.
You and Spike carried.
Partner, sub 9, and now the 90% record at GDQ. That's crazy. You're welcome. Since I never did anything for you.
Thank you, Rox.
For those who don't know the story of the first sub 9 by Jay, he was about to miss the Flash Black Com medal, and I was like, nope, hey moron, turn around. And he got sub 9. And he would not have gotten sub 9 without me.
No, that was such a speed run.
Hardcore trying to go for that double wall kick as well, falling down. Again, a lot of times with what both Galaxy 1 and 2 will do.
Yeah, now we have Gravity Comet. This is pretty much the hardest thing left. And this is where I think the nerves are at its peak at this point. Because ITC, one of the, well, basically the hardest strat in the whole run.
Nope, that's wrong, objectively.
It's not so Betty skip rock.
Yes, it is. So many skip. It's like 11 frame per every input in a row. This one is 1 3-frame input.
Yeah, you can see how much I pop off after getting this one.
It's just so late in the run.
Nervous. Just watch the cursors shaking in this.
That's you're doing that on purpose. That's not
There we
you
go.
naturally shaking.
Now they're shaking.
Now they're stuck on the side of the screen.
Said you can't see them.
Section of the level. Now making his way up. Gonna be going for another fun triple jump right here. Ooh, actually
Oh god, you can see the panic in my eyes.
Gonna have to pick up another coin. Oh wait, no, his version. He doesn't. I'm making stuff up. Again, I told y'all this, chat. I just make stuff up when I do commentary. Call it out, make it all common. Gonna be jumping back, getting that 3-frame kick, and now just looking.
Yeah.
And we got the instant grab as well. Like getting the instant grab on the starter is like so
It's
precise.
so hard, and it saves. It doesn't save that much, but like, oh my god, it's so annoying backing that up if you don't get it.
Yeah, in a run like this, you basically need it due to how close it would have been.
My internet is not being my best.
And now at this point, I'm like, oh god, it's possible. I think my heart rate was like,
I can watch your heart pumping right now. I watch it beating.
it would have been so cool to have like a heart rate monitor for stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's really bad. It's really not great right now.
Technology's getting there. Don't know.
Anything happened while I was gone?
Oh, nothing really. I mean, Jay hit the inside the castle again. So,
Of course he would.
he's 5 stars from going to Bowser.
Yeah, at this point we have 6 stars left. And I need to play
62 and 64 stars.
less than 15 seconds off my summer best.
All around for, especially for how long this run is.
I'm actually still 6 seconds behind at this point.
Doing the little Yoshi Dash Pepper purple coin star here.
I think I was basically behind until entering the last level.
There's like 150 purples on this level, so he's gonna get all of this group of stars.
Flashback comment moment.
And then he's just gonna cut loose and
Yeah, this level is one of the more relaxing ones at the end. You can basically skip that whole row of coins on the side there, just do a huge cut to the end. That's like one of the easier levels. You get to kind of like breathe before going to the next one.
So that's a hardcore.
That's not fun. Have him do the loop-de-loop all the way around.
I think he was doing runs. I saw him literally lose a run to this level.
To this level? No way.
Yeah. I don't think I've even done that. He like had to turn around. It's sad to watch.
Oh yeah.
Nice little long jump launch from Hardcore, getting on top here, then gonna ground pound through. Can he nail it? Can he hole in one it? Can we get to the star?
Ooh, looks a little too far to the right. Oh wait, he didn't even start the ground pound yet.
There it is.
Nails it.
Yeah, it's like a terrifying section because you go from ITC, you know, one of the hardest strats, Starshine Beach,
All right.
pretty easy start, to this one, which is an auto scroller, and then next
Don't
one
say
after
that
is-
to my 120, 242 PB.
It's definitely an auto scroller that you can fail. I've definitely failed this my fair share of times.
The worst is when it's in a 602.
Shh, don't tell anyone. This is a secret between you and me, chat.
He totally can't hear us.
He can't. He's not in the call with us right now.
Got it. Oh,
This
no,
Jay-
shook his head.
Jay is not in the room.
That's exactly how I feel. Even watching it back, like getting to some of these tricks, even though that I know I got the tricks, I can still feel my own habit.
I'm like, wow, this is we're watching history. We're watching
I know.
future,
You can see his way. The way he's looking at it. Oh, Viper taking
like, you know how like Da Vinci didn't get, like, not Da Vinci,
having to restart.
Van Gogh didn't get recognized until after his death? That's gonna be us
Real quick for me,
with this clip.
refresh his feed.
Oh yeah, he's like 30 seconds behind. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Viper.
Yeah, the last auto scroller down. You got 4 levels left. So you got Beat Block Comet, Throwback Comet, Flash Black Comet, and then the final Bowser level.
Giving it to Chopper's Comet.
So Throwback Comet is probably the easiest one left.
Hardcore gaming we
Beat
were
Block
talking about in his
has
name.
killed, I think, 2 runs I've had before to the end. And Flash Black has killed like 4. I've had so many runs die to Flash Black Comet.
Remember, I
Unfazed.
called it. I called that. I told you to practice it.
Out of his mind.
Telling you. So what happens if you don't listen to me? All.
The insanity known as Galaxy 2. The ability to back up, to improvise, to adapt to.
Yeah, I made that joke. Ugh.
Oh my
Can't remember the
goodness,
joke. That was a bad joke.
Incredible stuff there from Hardcore.
Big highlight.
Bro,
right
there are 2 sub 3s in one race. That's insane.
in the first place. And again,
I can't get over
Such a
that.
crazy race, honestly. I don't think it could have went like any better.
I don't think so either.
Had no time to react.
It was the perfect mix between
Let's go check out Beat Block Comet right here. And one of the most
like
double time.
hype, but also
Yeah, the stars like beat
I don't say hype and entertaining, but like hype and like informative. It was the perfect breed of everything.
This is a great showcase.
It was really like the perfect thing for the community. It was great.
Oh, this Beat Block Comet is terrifying. What am I doing? What am I doing? How did I not die?
Oh yeah,
there?
this scared. It was scary.
Yeah, that was terrible. I should never have gone for that cycle.
Grab the silver star at like the same time the block switches. It's like a fun little guessing
Playing
game.
that a little bit safe for the end there.
Which block is it gonna be? Yellow or green?
But at this point, best possible time is
Oh no, Hardcore having to do the loop-de-loop.
oh
He did
god,
this last night too. I was watching some
254.45. So I've got less than 10 seconds to work with if I want to get record.
Fine. Viper nailing gravity gauntlet C skip.
And basically, like any even small mistake here
Well
just
done.
kills
We
it.
got to see all sorts of variations on that skip.
It'll be over.
Masterfully executed by our roster of speedrunners here today. Jay making
now-
his way back. He is done with the
He's in the
revisit
final
of the world.
sweat.
Yeah, the
3
final
stars
set of
left.
stars.
I did the same hand gesture he did, thinking everyone can see me. There's 3 stars left. Throwback Comet. That's just kind of a repeat of Throwback 2. We're doing a different camera manipulation here. We did camera manipulation.
I'm getting nervous even watching it now.
I'm terrified. I don't know. Oh my god. Some locking feelings I didn't know I had.
Oh boy, Jay has a history of Flash Black Comet, but it's all right. It's okay. Because right here,
Don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Okay. Oh, excuse me.
I don't know. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, but at the same time, not much going on. It's like it's a little bit of a calm before the storm right now.
Yeah, Throwback Comet.
Every
Do you think
aspect.
this is
Basically
maybe
the
one of
same as
last
Throwback
good
2,
times we can
except
have
the
this
cycles are
awesome,
slightly
awesome
different, so we did a little bit of a different camera manip at the start.
Do
some slightly different movement at the end.
Alright, Pops here. Let's do it. We are now just under 64,000 for that bonus game Resident Evil Village Shadow of Rose. So the train is continuing to chug along. So we've got Pitman Lionhouse 08071 with $50. It says we would like
That was
to
like
buy tickets
perfect
for
throwback
That was
comment.
really solid.
Really good. That was really
Resident
clean.
Evil Village. Let's go. Got $15 from non-binary code. It's a me. $15 donate.
Yeah, 2 more stars at this point. One of them being one of the biggest run killers, and the other one being the final Bowser stage.
Lots and lots and lots of us donate just $5. We would hit the
Yeah, for
Resident
context,
Evil
Flash Black
going
Comet
no time fast.
is
Make sure you
heavily
choose
reliant on
incentive when you
2P,
donate.
and when you're at the end of a
lastly,
run like this and you're
$15
really
from
nervous and the cursors are
$15
shaking, it
ticket
becomes
get.
impossible to be able
Remember, when
to,
you're donating,
you
choose
know,
incentive.
grab onto
Let's
some of the
get that bonus
enemies.
game, Resident
So I've
Evil
had some of the
Village Shadow.
scariest moments in this level.
Let's hear it, Chad. I want a
Absolutely.
$5 Let's A Go train. I want Dad to have to read off Let's A Go's for like an hour straight to
my.
make sure we get this sucker met. You want to see it tonight. More GDQ is better for the soul. Let's make it happen, gamers.
Better for the
As Jay
soul,
is
better
heading
for
into
the
star number 70 of the
Oh, yeah.
70
Yeah, I don't think
And
this went too
one is
badly.
another nightmare to optimize.
Like, as far as all things go, the amount of nerves, this went pretty well.
Back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, you've killed so many runs to just being too nervous in this level.
Back and
You should aim the stabbits while also aiming the 2P cursor, and you can just see how much they're shaking even when I'm trying to grab the enemies.
Take out the enemies. He's gonna be shooting
I thought you were.
enemies. He
I had no faith in you. I'm gonna be honest. I thought you were for sure gone in this level.
run into them as well.
It's always been this level.
Like, slowly spin them or jump on them or anything.
Yeah, that was a really good one. 52 on the IGT is like insane.
Enemies as quickly as possible, and Jay just slaughtered them. All of them had a family, which is okay because he killed the entire family right there. So they're all gone. 30 enemies out of here. 70 stars in the pocket. Let's go to.
You know, there's one level left, and it's 7 minutes long. This is the longest level in the whole game. Basically, any mistake here would kill world record.
Slimy Spring. Sure, she got to wake up after that one. Making her way over to the beat block Comet as well. Now here we gotta give a
Just
shout
minutes
out
the 2 Wii
to
remotes. Yeah, so this is the setup I use. I can show you actually. So there's
I'm
2
so glad
remotes.
Spike shouted out Otomy there. You would have been pissed.
So these are the 2 Wii remotes. So we've got a big line of Velcro through the middle, so I can take them apart. And we got the rubber bands at the top.
Saving like 45 seconds. Omni found that forever ago.
You basically just hold it like one big controller.
And now we go into this absolutely freaking loaded final level of the run. One of the
But yeah, this is Bowser's Galaxy Generator, the last split of the game.
First of all, he has to make sure
Almost
he doesn't
immediately killing it here by taking damage to these fire bars. I had to do an extra spin there, which was very scary. So you actually need all 3 of your health for this next part. So instead of killing any of these boomerang
You don't need
birds-
it, but it's
instead, it's gonna stun one.
you want it.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you can do a double damage boost here, get all the way down to the bottom.
All the way down here to the end of the level, picking up a drill.
There's an IL shot where you only get hit once, but it's super difficult. You need to have like perfect vectors.
While he got us through to the end, we need to take damage to lose
Grabbing an
it.
extra coin there just for safety.
Jump over this little bonsai bill launcher with the triple jump, get all the way to the end, get that one up because it just feels good, and then make our way into this.
So 2P is incredibly important because it allows you to grab stuff you wouldn't be able to grab, such as coins, checkpoints, like items, like the 6-up. It can freeze enemies. And because of that, it can save a ton of time. It's more beneficial in Galaxy 1. You can do 2P jumps, which is like a second jump in midair, which obviously is very broken.
Because we're going to be doing one more cloud-based long jump to launch our way
So that
to
cloud section there was perfect. That's probably the hardest section in the whole of this level, and that was beautiful. You got one extra cloud here, so you can do a cloud boost over to Yoshi. This is the last flutter of the run. This one's actually really important, because the place we're trying to aim for has 2 levels. It's got the upper level called the top shelf, and we got the bottom level. And you really want to be landing on the top shelf. And this was probably the closest I've ever had to missing it. So you're fluttering here, and you want to be
This
at
was a
the-
plot armor moment.
Yeah, this was incredibly plot armor. You want to be
Super plot armor.
not too high, but high enough. And my angle was pretty bad. And I barely was able to get a wall jump. You should never have to wall jump there. You should just land on the platform.
Yeah.
But that was a wall jump top shelf, and that should never have happened.
Never happened. I've seen it. Well, you can't go too high because, unfortunately, there's a plane where the gravity field goes up and you soft lock.
You can even see my face on the small camera. I don't know if it's to the left or to the right, but I'm like losing it right now. Yeah, it's not an uncommon occurrence for runs to die to this Bowser fight, because basically any missed hits in this fight was like 20 or 30 seconds, and it's so easily done. Just a small misinput or like a tiny angle error and you'll hit this shell. Like Bowser's shell in this third fight is huge. Like it is massive. Like sometimes the hitbox will extend to crazy places and block the meteors.
Yeah, the hitbox can be incredibly wonky.
Yeah, getting the punch cancel here. Don't want to go too early. Yeah, canceling the next phase of the punch. 3 hits to go. Now that was also a huge platinum
That was
moment.
terrifying.
That one should not have hit either. This whole, my hat couldn't take it.
Remember, any of these mistakes would have killed the run.
Yeah, literally. I saw one of those meteors get hit there, and normally you want all 3 just in case. So I basically only got to work with this one. It just keeps getting scarier and scarier. Yeah, last hit.
Picking up that drill, picking up that health. He now has to get rid of that drill himself.
Like these Let's Go's are coming in crazy right now.
We are at the end.
But yeah, at this point, there's only the final phase of Bowser left. And again, there's 4 more hits, and I can't miss any of them. I basically have to get all 4 of the hits perfect.
And Jay is notoriously, like, horrendous at this final section. I made a video as a joke, as a tutorial on how to do this final section. And he has to watch it very often.
This is something that I've messed up plentiful times. But yeah, Bowser comes back, he eats the Grand Star. I got 1 more phase left, 4 hits to go. Yeah, just watch the pop off on the tiny me camera. I don't think I've ever shouted that loud during a speedrun.
I wish you were able to record that.
Would have been so cool to hear back.
You should have like turned on your like phone recording.
One more down the face. These long distance shots are not easy. Very easy to lose this pace right here. 1 hit left. Unbelievable here on the GDQ stage. Jay is popping off.
Yeah, Spike's reaction here was so good too. He did so much better.
Jay, did Jay just get
Spike is like the ideal commentator to have if you get world record on GDQ.
Yeah, that was such a perfect moment. I had to be sacrificed for that. It's fine. I'm still so sad my internet cut out. I'm still so sad.
But like the biggest hype man commentary team, it was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. You both killed it on the GDQ stage.
It was so much fun.
And thank you both for coming back on tonight to re-show this world record run for us and give your commentary about it. I want to go ahead and give you both a quick moment here to shout out your own channels and shout out anything else you'd like as we're wrapping up here.
Alright, anyway, but yeah, I am Jay. I'm always speedrunning Galaxy. Like, basically, if you ever tune into my stream, I'll usually be there. Basically, always. Like, if you like Galaxy speedruns or anything like that.
That reaction, I saw.
The reaction's so
good.
funny.
It's so good.
It's so funny to watch back. I've seen the clip of the reaction so many times, and it's always great to watch. It's so awesome.
It's really funny.
It's just like hype to just disbelief, and then relief. Yeah, anyway, go for it, Rocks.
Oh, hi, I'm Rocks. Twitch.tv/Rocks_. One day we'll get rid of the underscore. It's okay. Today's not that day. But I've been on the grind. I've been trying to grow my stream a lot too. I'm really mainly trying to stream Odyssey 90%. I'm grinding right now. But I've been doing a lot of multimedia stuff, a lot of Sunshine, Galaxy 1, 64, a lot of stuff like that. So it's always a good time. I do YouTube stuff too. So thank you guys. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having us on again, Nukes. It's always a
Yeah,
blast.
thank you.
Even if it's
I love
really,
having
really
you
early.
both on. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up, chat, because it is very, very early in the morning where Jay is, and
Very, very late
he
from
needs to
where
get some
we are.
sleep.
Well, welcome to Friday.
But thank y'all both for being on. Please go give Jay a follow. Please go give Rox a follow. They both really, really deserve all your support. Stick around, chat, though. We are going to raid at the end of stream. And also make sure, tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for Challenger Approaching, followed by Legally Cute. See y'all next time. Good night.